So, last time with our heroes? Question mark. Um,
Let's go with that.
you spent a little bit more time in Yukiegi. You went to speak to the prospector to sort of pull out of him a better price for his mission because he was only going to give you 10 gold. You didn't do so well, but he did give you 5 gold before you even left to each of you as opposed to 10 gold flat. So you did a little better. Um, and then, of course, you went and did the mission, came back all upset, threw spider legs at him, and got a bag full of gems.
Because that was so much harder than 5 gold was worth.
Because Riven almost died, and she was upset.
we were all upset.
Oh, well, yeah. Um,
Because when Riven goes down, everyone else would slowly go down.
I mean, Locke. I mean, if Riven goes down like in his dead, Locke's probably just gonna pop invisibility and sprint for it.
Awesome.
well, that's good to know.
Oak can heal himself. But if Riven's outright dead, then that probably means Oak was dead, or was at least down and not able to heal. And there's not much Locke can do if he's the only one standing.
Right, I know. Anyway. So, you went into doing the mission for the miners, which was, as was described, fighting a phase spider that almost killed Riven. Um, and then you came back, got a bag of gems as your reward. And then you went to Riven's mother, or not Riven's mother, Locke's mother, where you had left Hollis because you were going into what was probably a dangerous place, and you had a lovely conversation therein, and Riven broke down and told the group that she was wanting to go and fight a legion. And Locke surprisingly agreed to do so, but apparently only if, or under the condition that once done with her thing, Riven would help him with his thing. Which was going to find his father. And Oak then requested that before going to try to fight off against this legion, that the group does the quest that Yongrilin had, which was apparently going and fighting a bunch of kobolds in a cave lair thing. That perhaps Yongrilin could be another ally to help him in the quest against the coming Goblin Legion. You had also, having saved one of the miners, the only miner left alive, you were told that he requested a escort to go back to Karakol, where he was from, so that he could get back to his family. So you have Yongrilin's quest, the potential quest to take the dwarves back to Karakol, and Locke's thing that's going to send him to Caperton, potentially, and Riven's thing that's up in the north somewhere. Ish. But before all that can be decided and decisions can be made there, Riven went off into the bar, drank the heavily alcoholic beverage of water, and passed out on the floor.
Yeah, see you in about 8 hours.
So Riven is going to be out for a couple of hours.
Yep.
So I was debating, sort of bouncing back and forth in my own head, whether I wanted to open this session with a...
I'm coming back to the tavern, please.
Yes, I know, you don't want to have your dream yet.
What?
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Um, as I was saying, I was debating whether to open it with them coming back to find Riven passed out, or what Riven encounters while she's passed out. So I think I'm going to go with the former in that equation. So we open up with Locke and Oak still in Alessandra's library, even though we're not on the map, but that's fine. And Locke or Oak had went over to look into like the religious section of books things, and is still over there. This is technically in canon. This is maybe 30 minutes to an hour after Riven had initially left. So, the two of them are probably going to go and retire to the tavern as before, and then they're going to find her passed out on the floor. So Locke had spoke to his mother about the prospect of going and fighting a legion, and Riven had said something about appraising one of the many gems that they got from their little mining expedition. So we open up with Locke still with his mother, and Alessandra is basically got a sort of rudiment. It's not an official way, but it's a more rudimentary sort of magnifying glass thing, and is basically comparing it to notes in a book to see for cracks and fractures and size and all that fun stuff to effectively appraise the big huge ruby that Riven had handed off. And then upon her going into appraisal mode, Oak had also handed off the bag of gems. So Alessandra is working through that, and Locke had said that he was going to request certain spell scrolls, I believe.
I was figuring utility, like emergency stuff, like things to get us out of tight spots if we wound up somewhere in over our heads.
Right.
Like, oh, there is not a chance in hell we can fight this thing. I'm just going to cast this handy little spell, and suddenly we're like a mile that way or something.
Right. Yeah.
Just panic button spells, essentially.
Okay. Okay.
Because that's something Locke is very good at doing, is panicking.
If we know. All right. So we'll probably say that you were picking up spells like maybe blink or expeditious retreat because that is technically a spell.
Okay. Expeditious retreat. What does blink do?
Blink as a spell is effectively you go to a completely and totally alternate plane of existence randomly.
Okay. So...
Yeah, but it's like a bonus action kind of deal, and you have to roll a dice to see where you end up afterwards.
Well, you basically you cast blink on yourself and you disappear, and then
For a round.
for a round, and then you appear in a space that's within your movement range, or I think it's 20 feet or something from where you just were, that you can choose
10 feet.
10 feet in a random direction of your choice, and then you reappear there, and then you have to roll a dice every one of your turns for the duration of blink to decide whether or not you disappear again.
Okay, so how about this then? I think I figured out a list.
Okay?
Let's go with blink, expeditious retreat, and haste.
That makes sense.
All right.
All right.
So, how many of those does my mom actually have?
I think it's reasonable to say that your mother has. What's the level on those spells?
Haste is 3rd level. Blink is 3rd level. And expeditious retreat is 1st level.
So we'll say she does have access to give you, and because it's your mother, you're not going to have to pay her. Um, she's just going to give them to you.
All three?
She is going to give you, yeah, she's going to give you one scroll of both haste and the two third level ones.
Yeah.
She was going to give you one scroll each of those two, and then 2 scrolls of the level 1.
All right. So,
I don't think that.
2 scrolls. So 2 scrolls of expeditious retreat, 1 scroll of haste, and 1 scroll of blink.
Yep, I don't think that's too terribly crazy.
Yeah.
Especially considering they're one use.
Yeah, 1 use and then they're gone. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I am okay with this.
All right. So she also went through and figured out, and by she I mean me, went through and figured out what your lovely, lovely cache of gems is actually worth. The unfortunate thing is, she has a general idea of what they're worth, but she doesn't have the money on her to, like, actually officially liquidate them. She does have some, and she actually has a few gemstones that she would herself like to have. But effectively, based on all of the gems in the pouch itself contained 12 individual gems. 7 smallish, sort of opaque, ranging of different colors of like blue, black, and sort of like wavy browns. 7 different gems that were worth 10 gold each. 1 sort of tarnished Alistone, which is at the tarnished level that she's wagering. It's worth about 35 gold. 1 bloodstone that's also seen a bit of like friction, as if somebody's held it and rubbed it or squeezed it along in their hands for repeatedly. That's also worth about 35 gold. 3 sort of higher priced gems that are 120 gold each. And the biggest gem in the bag, both in size and in price, is a flame dance gem that's worth 500 gold.
What is a flame dance gem?
I have no idea.
Is that an actual real gem?
It is.
It's another name for an actual real gem. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes more sense. Because like, who the fuck names real world gems flame dance? That doesn't make any sense.
So, with all those gems combined, as it were, plus the ruby, which she appraises the ruby to be worth about 3,000.
Riven.
We need to see a bank.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know
can we
if
get
Riven
some-
like realizes. I don't think she'll be comfortable we're carrying something like this much gold.
Yeah.
Hey, can we get this turned into money for ourselves, please?
Unfortunately,
I mean, I was like speaking like at a future date, like going to a bank or something.
oh yeah. There's a couple of different places that are options for places that you could go that you could liquidate some of that and get actual gold for it. And if worse comes to worse, you could do it in Caberton, because Caberton's most certainly going to have that. Because Caberton's the marketing hub and King and like Palace, and yeah. For purposes of you, Brian, since you are Brony person, Caberton is Canterlot.
Okay.
So.
And just like that, you've alienated about 25% of our audience.
Whatever. It's fine. Most of the audience here knows that I'm a Brony. Look at my freaking avatar.
All 5 of the people who watch this show.
Yes. So, Doing the math, all in all, counting the ruby, you have 3,880 gold worth of gems.
We are fucking rich.
And that's not counting the 25 gold gem that Riven already gave up for water.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. But Alessandra can liquidate some of that and give Oak and Locke 60 gold, and she actually takes quite a few of the smaller opaque gems from the bag. She seems to, you as Locke, knowing how your mother's, your mother's mannerisms and things, she seems to have a use that she's intending for these.
Okay. So is that 60 gold each, or to be
60
split?
gold total. She takes she takes 6 of the 7 gemstones that were worth 10, and she hands off 60 gold to Locke to split with Riven and Oak.
All right. So how the fuck do you divide that 3 ways?
60
What,
is
60? 20
Oh,
each.
20. Okay. All right. So I'll go up by 20 gold. I'll give 20 to Oak and hold on to the remaining 20 until we can rendezvous with Riven. Here you go.
Yep, indeed. Which, upon speaking of that, Oak is sort of like, I don't know where she went off to. Maybe the tavern. Maybe we should just go ahead and rendezvous off with her. Anyway.
Probably a good idea.
So yeah. Oak and Locke venture off to the tavern to perhaps meet back up with Riven, or at least see what's going on there. And the two of them enter the tavern and find Riven passed out on the floor, with a partially still full glass of some alcoholic beverage of some sort on the table.
Bottle.
Or bottle, or yeah, bottle. Because
She drank it from the bottle.
Yeah, she would have.
Locke's just going to slowly tilt his head to one side, point and go, "That's Riven."
That is Riven, yes.
How did this happen?
Yongrilin sort of chuckles and pipes up from like maybe 3 or 4 seats down. She drank a drink. She drank a drink that will knock out most dwarves.
Oh.
So,
All right.
she'll be out a while.
Okay. Locke will kind of meander over and just quietly deposit the remaining 20 gold into her pouch before standing up and backing away, not wanting to get throttled if she suddenly woke up.
Yeah, what
She's
the heck?
because like, goblin.
Actually, yeah.
No.
What the heck? Bleh. Locke, roll a dexterity save.
Ah, shit.
God. What do I roll?
12.
You're not rolling anything, Riven, because
Okay.
you're not actually you're. Remember, as was said at the end of last session, you sort of spazzed
Oh.
and
Am I
knocked it.
spazzing a little?
Yeah. So
Okay.
and it's not that hard because you it's not a as a it is a spasm sort of a thing, but it's not as if Locke wasn't already worried that you might do something. So rolling a 12, Locke is able to sort of get away as Riven's arm just sort of for no apparent reason in his general direction.
I'll look at whoever it is behind the counter. Is there anyone behind the counter?
Yes. The Vidalcan's still behind the counter.
I point at Riven and ask, "Do you have any idea how long she's going to be like that?"
Judging by the amount that she's succeeded in drinking and quickly, probably a good night. She's probably going to be out most of the night because this is the later part of the evening, as was told.
Oh. All right. I guess there's nothing for it but to wait then.
Well,
All right.
we could get some sleep ourselves. It is nighttime.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. All right.
Uh,
I guess we're getting rooms.
Do we want to Oak sort of looks to doesn't even bother to try to do any kind of attempt to think that Locke may have even the slightest chance. But he sort of looks to Yongrilin and goes, "Hey, Yong, want to help me, get Riven out of the floor of the tavern and up to her room, maybe?" I've passed out on the floor before. She'll be fine.
Even better.
Nice.
Oak's sort of sitting there contemplating whether or not he wants to maybe get the Badalkin's help or just leave Riven on the floor.
Locke is just kind of standing there awkwardly.
Well, I know Oak looks to Locke. Well, I know you can't help me pick her up.
Just kind of holds up his hands. I am
Exactly.
a twig.
Vidalkin sort of he very much inwardly sort of sighs, and then if you really think she needs to go back upstairs to her room, I'll give you some help. And Oak's
Spaz roll over.
you like spaz again and hit the edge of the counter, and it's like.
It's not that loud.
Well, I can only do certain sounds to it and imply that
Yeah.
it's probably not that loud. And doesn't sound like that because you're hitting wood, not stone. But
Right.
it doesn't like reverberate and echo that much. But anyway,
That's...
so I am going to have Oak roll a strength something to see how well he can haul
With
Riven.
advantage because the Vidalkin is doing
Helping.
the hauling.
Yes, with advantage because the Vidalkin is helping. So 15.
Oh, I kind of was like, hoping they would fail. Because either way, I have a nice scene when she wakes up.
What did you put for weight for Riven? Or did you?
Oh, she is like 260 of muscle.
Isn't there a thingy on Roll20's character sheets for like carrying capacity?
So it's 16. So it's, what is his strength? Like
16 times what?
15?
15. That's 240.
You can't carry me.
That being helped by the Vidalkin, so whatever his strength is, you could probably add that up.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, so
So
Riven's being carried.
that's why it's difficult.
Yeah.
Um,
And Locke's just kind of watching them try to figure out how the hell they're going to do this in the back. I'm like, this is actually kind of funny.
right.
Then he starts mage handing Hollis.
Okay. Well,
Because that's what he does, apparently. That's just his gimmick.
right.
Sorry.
So with the Vidalkin's help, you carry her up to her. They carry her up to her room, and Hollis is following while not trying to be too enthralled by Mage Hand.
By the invisible thing that just keeps scripting him out of fucking order.
Yep. And then afterwards, Oak and Locke retire for the night. The Vidal can make sure to let Hollis into Riven's room as Oak and him lay her down. So with that, we now jump into Riven's head. Yay!
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
So Riven, having passed out in the floor of the tavern.
Yes.
This is why I thought it would be a little bit cooler for me to do your dream prior, because then it could be like you're waking up from the floor of the. Anyway.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, I would have been totally fine waking up on the floor. She would have just been like groaning and trying to use stools to get up.
Yes. Which, for dream purposes, the dream you does not realize you were picked up and carried to a room.
Nope.
So, Riven finds herself waking up with a massive headache, and you're passed out on the floor, and a familiar hand reaches down to pick you up. Should have been more careful, Riven. I know it's a celebration, but you should know your limits by now. Riven, you find, looking down at you, reaching down to help you up, you find Cal.
Like, do I realize this is a dream? Or no?
You're smart enough to know that you passed out on the floor, so that if you're seeing Cal, this is most likely a dream. Especially considering that when you try to take a look around you, you also see that you are in a tavern that's not the one that you passed out in, but seems familiar. And especially Dream telling you this is a dream. The staircase that leads up to the rooms in the tavern is sideways. It's sitting in the wall, but it's sitting in the wall sideways.
Okay, I'm trying to debate whether or not Riven is like actually focused on Cal and realize it's a dream.
That's a good point.
And stuff is just like, that's weird.
You're focusing more on Cal then?
Yeah, she just like, I guess if she glances about, it's just like, that's weird. But anyway.
Cal's eventually sort of helped you up to stand. She sort of like brushes off your garb a little bit, because you just fell down into dusty floor.
And Riven's just like staring intently, just like at her and stuff. And
are you okay?
like, you aren't here anymore.
She sort of tilts her head, looking at you.
Yeah, you're gone.
Drink must have really did a number on you, huh?
I guess. If I'm seeing you.
You hear like the tink of the glass sitting down on the bar counter, and you sort of look to the sound, and you see Julia a sort of. I was thinking red hair, but I'm not entirely sure where you wanted to go with that.
I don't care. I just told her who she generally looked like, and I was like, pretty much like that.
Yeah. So sort of short, red hair, slightly fading to gray, older, human woman. Um, and she sort of looks to you and gives you a slight smile. What do you mean, hun? Everything's fine. And as she's looking at you, and as you're sort of looking back to her, there is the briefest flash, and then it goes away, where it goes from being Julia to being a goblin female back to Julia.
Yeah. She
Um,
like the flash. She instinctively reaches for like her axe if it's there.
Um, I would assume you would probably still keep your axes on you at mostly all the time, huh?
Yeah, like she goes to tries to grab it, but then the flash is gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then there is from behind the bar and like into the back room of the bar, there's um like this clattering noise as if it was something falling over, and Julia sort of looks back and sets up a glass for water, just like normal water, and sets it down on the countertop towards you and goes, "Here, take some water, get your strength back." And she goes into the back, to the back of the shop. And once she shut the door, you hear uh, you hear her voice call out and go, "Alex, what did you?" And the frustrated sound, for a brief second, sounds like a growl, and then it's back to her tone that you know. And then Cal's sort of still looking at you, and Riven, what's the matter?
Like this is the. I'm assuming I recognize it as the tavern that she would always go to.
Oh yeah, you can sort of look around and you can see that this is the Boar's Head Tavern, the tavern that you and Cal frequently visited.
Riven's just like shaking her head, and I guess she tries to make her way to the door. And I'd be like, this place ain't here anymore.
Um, so you're sort of making your way to the doorway.
Yeah, just shaking her head like, this ain't right. This is not supposed to be here.
Um, so Cal sort of stands up and walks to follow you, and sort of reaches out as you're walking away, and Riven, it's fine. We come here all the time, don't you know? Don't
No, this place is gone. It's ruins now. Why? You're.
And as you say that, the bar flashes to be in ruins, and then it's back to normal again.
She actually hurries. Like, at this point, like, kind of runs towards. runs through the door. If there's a door.
And so you run towards the door, and when you get to the door itself, the door vanishes, turns into the doorway itself vanishes, turns into a tree, like a solid tree. You turn back to look. You're suddenly outside, and Cal's doing the hand motions for the tree portal that you've seen so many times, and then there is a portal where the tree was, a doorway where the tree was, and she's very gently, Riven, go, get away, and
Riven grabs onto her arm and just tries to hold on tight.
you just like grab onto Cal's hands.
Well, arm, yeah, just like she doesn't want to go through the portal.
And as you're, standing in this doorway that used to be a tavern, is now not, and there's fire, and there's yelling, and there's screaming, there's roaring. Cal is just, Riven, you have to go.
No.
I'll be fine.
I'm not gonna lose you again.
Again? What do you mean again? You've never lost me.
This happened before. I don't know what's going on.
Riven, go.
No, I'm staying with you.
You have to go, Riven. You're an amazing tracker. You can make your way back when it's safer, and we'll see each other again.
No, I won't. I'm staying here with you. Like, does Riven, like, have the necklace on her?
Yeah, actually.
She does?
Mhm.
She's gonna, like, pull it out and show it. It's like, I'm staying here with you. I'm not going anywhere.
We'll have to take this down together, right?
Together.
Together. And the images of around you, of the village, of the tavern, of the fire, all the screams and everything just sort of fades into nothing, into darkness, and all you have left is Cal smiling at you. And you find yourself waking up in your room at the top of the tavern in Yukiyagi.
How's my head?
Huge headache, huge hangover.
Oh, she'll, like, is she in the bed? Like, haphazardly or something?
Yeah, sort of haphazardly. You're not exactly tucked in. Almost.
She
sort
just,
of.
like, rolls and just flops and lands on the ground.
And as you
She's
flop on,
just, like, groaning, like,
You're
oh,
welcome, by
God. My head.
as you flop onto the ground, you hear a sort of a
Oh, no. Don't tell me she flopped over and landed on
Oh,
Thomas.
come on.
no, she didn't, but she hears a sort of a somewhere between happy and surprised, and then Hollis is right there next to her, looking at her face.
Oh, Hollis. Why are you so loud? Oh, God. Why?
Lick, 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 lick,
Oh,
lick.
God, it's so loud. Riven's gonna try to stand.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm. Roll me an acrobatics. Not with a disadvantage.
Advantage or disadvantage?
You don't actually have either. You're just rolling it straight because the only reason you're even doing it is because you're sort of off balance anyway.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You stand up just fine. You're a little dizzy.
Okay.
A little sort of.
I'm just like holding on to whatever's like near me, like a bed frame, post,
Yeah, the bed.
or...
Bed's right there.
Yeah.
So you sort of brace yourself on it and stand up just fine. And it is morning outside. Like probably
Like, is there any curtains on the window?
Loosely, it's open just a crack.
She's just like, bright.
All right.
Oh. I guess she's gonna make her way back downstairs slowly.
Yeah, I mean, you have your balance pretty well. You're just massive headache.
She's just like, eyes like almost closed and just like a hand to her head and just like holding on to things just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Are Locke and Oak up yet?
Um, probably not. If she slept for a solid 8 hours, she fell asleep before she normally does, so she's waking up at about, like, I sort of pictured her doing her little drunken thing and falling asleep at like 10 or 11. So it's still pretty early in the morning. Unless Locke specifically wanted to get up early, he's probably still asleep.
Yeah, he's not exactly an early riser, so he's probably still out. Yeah.
Yeah. But Oak is awake, and he's downstairs in the tavern when Riven comes down. He doesn't say anything. He gives her a smile and a wave.
I wonder who, Oak?
Oak, yeah. He sort of waves her down over towards him, but doesn't say anything. Pointedly, does not say anything.
And she goes and sits down and then staring at, like, he's at a table, right?
Oh yeah,
Or is he at the bar?
he's at the bar.
She's like, she sits down and she stares at the table, and then the head just goes down onto the table.
Yep. The female, the human woman that was the bartender, she sort of chuckles. Yeah, that drink will do that to you. She says it softly, and she's like halfway across the room.
Oh. So would I have to roll perception to hear her?
You have a nonsensically high, like oversensitive perception sort of right now due to your headache.
But
So
the thing is, I'm hungover, so there's like slight pounding in my ears.
this is true. Yeah, roll perception. See if you hear her. Nope.
No.
Not with a 7.
It's like groaning. Just like,
Why is it so loud? Why am I groaning so loudly? It hurts. I should stop right now, but I'm not because that's how comedy works.
Yes. Oak actually will. He'll like your head's fully on the table.
yeah, like her face is into the table, her forehead is resting against the table, and she's just like, and she's just like, oh, it's just water. What the hell?
Is she saying that like out loud?
Oh, wait, did they tell her it was water?
You didn't hear the human say that water will do that to you, so no, you actually don't know what it was called.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck was that?
Oak whispers so that you can hear, but it's not super loud and painful because he knows how stuff like that can be aggravating when you're hungover. You drank a very powerful dwarven drink.
What? She like slightly shifts her head so she can actually like look one eye at him.
Must have asked if they had anything strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much did the drink cost you? Do you remember?
My emerald. Cost me my
Then
emerald.
then it was probably the dwarven drink that is often referred to as water.
She like sits up and loudly goes, "Water?" And then all she goes, clutches her head again, like, "Oh God."
That was a mistake.
Uh,
An affectionate nickname for the drink because of the looks, tastes, and smells.
yeah. There is a laughter from like across the room.
Shut
Uh,
up!
uh,
You're loud.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Yongrilin's back there, and she's just smiling and cackling, and
Don't make me come over there.
all right. She puts her hands up, and she's all right, all right, all right. I'll stop. I've been there. I know. I'll stop.
Why aren't you stopping?
And she's quiet now.
Thank you.
Oak sighs a bit and sort of looks over at the human woman's drink and, no, it's fine. And he does so in a way that's not just simply, outright patting her on the back, but he makes sure that she's aware that he's doing such a thing. And he just essentially rubs lesser restoration as per the spell into her back. And she finds that her headache is slowly fading away.
Ah.
Ah!
It's like, I can think again. I'm hungry.
the
Great.
human woman
It's
actually
one
chuckles.
thing at a time with her.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm
the,
hungover. Now I'm hungry.
the human woman just smiles and goes, "We can get you some breakfast. It's fine."
Okay. And like, Riven goes and like stretches with her hands like above her head and stuff, and you can just hear like slight popping.
Right, of course.
And just, like,
Shit, I popped my knuckles too recently. I can't do it. Oh! That's louder than mine.
Sorry, those are my actual knuckles, though.
Anyway,
Yeah, so she like stretches a bit and it's like pops a few more things to be like, oh, much better.
you're welcome.
How long was I on the floor?
I'm not entirely sure. You were on the floor when me and Locke came back to the tavern. So, and then
Well,
the
let me ask
human
this.
the human woman
Okay.
speaks up and she goes, "A little less than an hour."
Still sucks.
What's that?
I was like, oh, okay.
Still sucks.
Are you okay?
I feel much better now. Even though she still looks tired.
Right. Yeah. Well, what are your plans today then?
Um, I don't know.
Well, Locke is still asleep for the moment. Yes, we know. Um,
Oh, what time is it?
um,
Well,
about 8, 9 a.m. roughly.
oh. Okay. She's just gonna wait until she gets her breakfast.
Yeah. All right. So you get your breakfast. It's the human woman setting it out and setting it on the table and all this, and that's about the time that Locke actually wakes up and is coming downstairs.
Just kind of loosely waves, kind of rubbing at one of his eyes, like. Kind of slumps into a chair next to them.
Morning, sunshine.
Morning yourself. How's the head?
My head is fine.
What? I look
Yeah.
at Oak.
And it's like if he's positioned where it's like if he looks at Oak and doesn't actually see Riven, Riven's just gonna sit there and be like quiet.
Oak,
Uh,
looking to Oak like holds up his hands, and it like sparkles with light for a second, and he goes, "That's the restoration spell. Cures hangovers."
You've deprived me of a show, you know that.
Maybe.
Well, you should have gotten up earlier.
Just kind of slowly looks at Riven, lifts a finger as if to rebuke, waits for a second, puts it down. I'm hungry.
We're the hungling, bumbling something. I'm sure we're gonna have a group name yet.
We are not morning people. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
Blind hungry.
I'm a morning person. Oak's a morning person. You're not a morning person. So don't say we.
Anyway.
Locke's gonna pull out his book and start reading.
Okay.
Anyway,
So, what's the plan then?
I don't know. I gotta go do something I'm late for.
well, you go
Alright,
do that, and we'll decide what to do from there. And
Okay.
free to, eat and enjoy breakfast, and then Riven can get up to do whatever she needs to do.
Yeah. Is there like an actual like little food market? Or some sort of market? Like where she can get some I don't know.
There's a little marketplace, little tiny like almost like a fruit stand sort of market type place.
Yeah, she's looking for something with maybe like a little bit of fresh fruit, if it's possible.
It's technically over here.
Oh, yeah, she moves over here.
So you go and you go into a little market district.
Yeah, she's just looking for something. I don't know, fresh fruit.
Make you a
I mean, this is way up in Huh?
Make you a perception check or investigation, whichever one you think would be more accurate.
Well, she's looking for something specific, so.
And she is like physically looking, like searching. So investigation probably.
20.
Yes. So.
No, she's looking for something a little bit more like citrusy.
So you sort of search around. It doesn't take you very long. You find a little fruit stand. It almost has a
Like, is there people roaming about in this market since it's like morning and stuff? I'm
not a
assuming
whole
there
lot.
is.
No, there's some that's still setting up for other shops. The little fruit stand seems to be there and is actually pretty well stocked for being so early. You don't seem to
and this town being so far north of fresh fruit.
Like, yeah, I mean there's farmland down to the south further away from the snow, so there's fresh fruit. It's fine.
Okay, well, she could get something just like a little bit citrusy. So.
Yep. And as you do you like actually physically reach down and pick up one of the like oranges or something?
Yeah, to like look it over.
Yep. So you're there looking through the fruit stands and things.
She has like 2 oranges about the same size, and she like looks at one, lowers, looks at the other one, lowers. Just keeps going back and forth. Every now and then she might tilt one to the side. Then back to normal.
And you suddenly hear a small child voice from behind you. That will be 5 silver.
She looks behind her.
And as you turn around to look, there's the sound of someone like elbowing somebody, and you hear a female voice that, no, not 5, 2. And you find yourself looking at 2 little kids, basically, little human kids, a boy and a girl, close to about the same age, very much siblings, perhaps. Look to be about 7 or 8.
I smell extortion.
5 or 2. I'll pay 5.
See? I told you I was... Wait a minute.
And she's
Ooh.
like, hands him like a gold to be like, do you have 5 silver?
No. But Mom
And
might...
she just Okay. Where
And
is she?
That's
Okay.
the little girl says, Mom might. And then the little boy sort of tilts his head and is looking very intently at you.
She like looks at the kid and just like narrows her eye. And is like, can I change?
And then he like grabs his what probably would be his sister's hand and like pulls her to the side and turns back to you and goes, well, 1 second. And then and they go around the corner over here next to this tree.
If I want, I can buy 2 of these and just give you the gold.
Do you want to...
She's just like slightly confused, like what? And she like looks back at the stand and be like, "Is there the actual person selling these here?"
Nope.
Like,
Doesn't look like it, not at the moment.
so she's just like sitting there, just like, okay.
I just get robbed.
No, I haven't handed them the gold yet. I was like holding it out, asking for if they had change.
Yes. Are you going to try to listen in to their conversation?
No.
Okay. After about 2 or 3 minutes, they come back, and the little boy sort of looks up at you again, and he's... Is your name... Riven?
She's like, serious, scary face, like, what's it to you?
The girl smiles and goes, Yep, it's Riven.
What?
Huh?
And
Look, I'll buy 2 of these oranges thingies. Just, here's the gold. She
Well, if-
like grabs another orange and just like hands them the gold.
okay, you can do that. Come back to the shop in like maybe 20 minutes ish, something. And then the 2 kids just scamper off.
What? Who's gonna watch your stand?
Thanks
Yep.
for volunteering, Riven.
She looks behind the stand. Is there a stool or something?
Yes, there is actually.
She just goes and sits. And she's like,
All right.
And she like looks at her necklace and be like, well, here goes my daily routine.
Alright. About maybe 20 minutes later,
She's like, or like ate 1 orange and stuff, and she's like in the process of peeling the other one.
you sort of look. You know, you're keeping watch of the stand as you said you would, and you've seen other people
Well,
sort of.
I didn't say I would. I just sat down here and make it look like I'm watching over it.
Yeah. So you see other people starting to filter in. Some of them sort of tilt their head and look at you, not really expecting you to be watching the fruit stand. But they sort of shrug it off. And about 20 or so minutes later, you hear a familiar voice. Oddly enough, one that you heard somewhat recently in a dream.
Oh no.
Not cows though.
No.
And you hear Julia's voice from before. And I almost didn't believe him, but it is you. Hello, Riven.
Riven like looks up at her and just like stares.
Well, hi to
Like a
you
deer in
too.
the headlights.
She like quickly like stands up. Just be like, you got out.
I did.
Wow. You're the first that I've seen.
Yeah, it took me a while to get back my feet after that, but I'm not the only one who got away. There are some other villagers that are scattered all about Gradiriel at this point. I don't know all of who survived, but it wasn't a massacre,
Oh.
though the town is very gone.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I stuck to what I did best, hunting.
Well, I've sort of set up a small little fruit stand, got a makeshift farm that's a little ways south of here, but it's good seeing you again, Riven.
That's good to see you too. You need to teach them, tell them that they can't just leave a stand.
They do it all the time. Nothing's happened yet.
Well, okay.
Between you and me, we don't have a whole lot of criminals actually in the city that last very long. You may not look it necessarily, but when angered, shield buff can be terrifying.
I know he's a bit terrifying to a few when he's not angry.
Fuck you.
We just hear logs in the voice in the background.
If. To some, perhaps. Anyway, we can watch the stand now. You can get back to whatever it is you're doing. I'm assuming you weren't wanting to spend the day watching our fruit stand.
Oh, no, I was just. It's really good to see you again.
He smiles. You too, Riven. Come back to the little fruit stand, huh?
Yeah, if you
Was
don't
that
mind, I wouldn't mind hanging out with you guys for a little bit longer.
free to do so, sure.
Kids are a lot bigger than I remember.
Yeah. Been a couple years, but they're still rambunctious little kids.
Okay, who's fidgeting?
Sorry.
It's fine.
It's always him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Riven spends a little bit more time with Julia and her kids.
I'm sure the kids have noticed Hollis.
Oh yeah, Hollis is getting all the pets.
A spoiled, rotten dog.
Pretty much, yeah.
A spoiled, rotten direwolf. Who'd have
Yeah.
thought?
Wait until
Eh.
he's bigger and starts walking through the marketplace.
So yeah, you Hollis is getting all the pets. Um, the boy Alex is a little bit curious as to why he has spikes, and then Julia speaks up, and he's a direwolf pup, and you get this like unison. Oh, cool.
Like, I have no idea what that means, but nice.
Exactly.
Riven
Yes.
smiles and stuff. And I guess continue like small chat
Yep.
with Julia and stuff. Just kind of explaining what she's been up to.
Yep.
Trying to allude, but poorly alluding to the fact that she's actually been hunting like goblins and stuff.
I
Very
mean,
poorly.
at the end of it, it's just Julia's very much happy to see you and tells you to be careful, and you're free to do as you wish.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming after some more chit chat, probably a good 2 or 3 hours, you finally return to the group who's still in the tavern.
Yeah.
Yep. Oak sort of smiles at you on your return, and he's, well, that took a little longer than last time. Is everything okay, Riven?
Yeah, just saw a really old friend.
Really?
Oh, that must be nice to have.
After you sat there and watched your town get destroyed, yeah, it is really nice.
Glad to hear that you had more survivors than you might have thought.
Yeah, though she didn't ask once about. Anyway,
So, what are we wanting?
what we're going I'm all done with what I had to do, so.
All right, well, then what is the plan? Last I checked, we were doing your thing, so...
Well, I thought Oak wanted to do something first before that.
All right.
I did. I was thinking perhaps. He sort of speaks in hushed tones as Yongrilin's in the corner of the tavern. Which. Let me roll a thing for Yongrilin. See if she notices. Deception. Boop. Okay. So, he sort of speaks in more hushed tones, and he's. I was thinking that we follow through with Yongrilin's mission, perhaps to get another ally. It's also worth noting that I don't know a whole lot about where you were wanting to speak of, but with the intent for you to say towards this area, I'm assuming that your town was perhaps north.
Do you have a map?
He has his map already out as he started talking.
She like points at a spot on the map, like towards the north, and it's like, my old town used to be somewhere around here.
Okay, so he indicates for a place that's off towards, more directly towards the mountains themselves, that's relatively close, and he goes, "This is where the Kobold treasure mine, as Yongrilin calls it, is located. So if we travel towards if we travel north for Yongrilin's quest, we will be getting close to your old town."
No, I want to avoid the tent because I don't know if they're still occupying it.
then
Well,
we
if
would have to
moved if
be
we moved
careful.
quietly and if we were careful and sneaky, it could kill two birds with one stone. Take care of Yongrilin's thing and getting some scouting.
I guess.
You can't exactly fight an enemy that you don't know much about, can you?
No.
Alright. So we journey to do Yongrilin's quest then.
I suppose.
It's several days out, so we'll be journeying with her.
Should we buy like a few kegs of ale so she can keep herself entertained?
No.
Okay.
She's not
Who's
necessarily
gonna
just...
carry them?
What? I didn't catch that.
Who's gonna carry them?
Locke kind of looks at his skinny ass arms and is like, point taken.
Okay.
Oak smiles and just chuckles and alright, Young. I think we're about ready to head out. Do your thing. If you want to come along. And Yongrilin sort of sets the glass that she had been not really heavily drinking, just more like nursing slowly. And she's, alright. Well, cracks her knuckles a bit. If that's what we're doing, let me head back up to my room for a second, grab my things. You guys get your stuff, and we'll head out then.
I've already got all my stuff.
And pretty much, you guys pretty much always carry all your stuff. She just, since she hadn't been going anywhere the last couple of days, she's left most of her stuff that she carries around with her in her room most of the time. And then she goes upstairs, retrieves a few things, comes back downstairs with a pack, like a small satchel, a bedroll, and she is wearing some very interesting clawed gauntlets.
Huh.
Still gives her the use of her hands, but effectively gives her sort of Wolverine-esque claws.
Neat.
Um,
Locke is going to shudder a bit on seeing that and reminds himself to not piss her off.
Indeed. And then I suppose we begin our journey to the Kobold.
Riven's gonna stop by the fruit stand and sit. Well, she's leaving town for a few days, so she's gonna say bye.
Yeah. So the group follows you for a second. Well, actually, no.
No,
Unless
the
you-
group follows me. That's fine. That's fine if they follow.
Oh, you think? Okay, well.
Yeah. Look at this
You're-
ragtag band of adventurers.
Get ready to head out, and then you're suddenly going back to the fruit stand to say bye, and Oak's just like, what? And follows you.
Just, come on.
It's like, okay.
Come on.
Okay.
It's in the general direction of where we're leaving, so come on.
And then off to the fruit stand. Alright. So
See the numbers going in my head. Those.
Because you're going, if you just go straight down, that's you going south. We're going to go westish.
once you leave town, you are technically leaving town to the west. So she is correct, actually, because you'd be leaving. You'd be leaving.
Ah.
I
Yukie.
thought the town had I thought the town had only one gate in the south.
Actually, it doesn't, because it's not gated off.
Oh, it doesn't even have walls? Fuck, alright.
No. Yeah.
Nope, it's sort of open farmland, and it's allowing people to freely move around. Oddly enough, Julia claims it's to be well protected, and yet there's no discernible walls. So.
So.
Well, my mom lives here now, and she's a powerful wizard, so.
Yeah. Alright, so you head on over
Mhm.
And we see Julia again and the two kids, and Julia smiles at Riven as you come back up with your little group of friends.
Mhm. I'd be
I
like,
take it you're leaving.
yeah, gotta travel for some days, so I figured I would come say goodbye.
Well, we'll be here when you return.
All right, be safe. Those goblins are still roaming around.
She's quiet for a second, and she goes, "We're safe here, and be safe too, okay?"
I'm gonna try.
So you got quite the little party of interesting folks, huh?
Yeah, met what last week?
Pretty sure our characters have known each other for like 2 weeks at this point.
Okay, 2 weeks, whatever.
Yeah, a little over 2 weeks. Alright,
Okay.
so she gives you a smile. Sort of. She does that, like, shoulder pat, half hug sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, and then everyone's free to begin venturing out.
Yeah, Riven's a little sad.
Does Locke want to go back to his mother before leaving, or is he just going to leave?
I mean, literally the only family he has that he at present gives a damn about, aside from like wanting to locate. So yeah, he'll probably pop in and say bye.
We need to drop off the Hollis.
That too.
Yeah. So you come back inside, uh, and you find that Alessandra, she's got one of the gemstones from the pouch from before, one of the 10 gold ones, and she's just sort of looking it over, and has a little, uh, it's a very fine, like calligraphy style pen of sorts, and she seems to be making a very detailed rune on this small gemstone that's about the size of maybe a little ping pong ball. It's not a very big gem at all.
Can I roll on Arcana check to see if I know what the hell she's doing?
Yes, you can. And Riven, you would see her, like,
19.
oh yeah. Um, she seems to be preparing the gemstone to be a specific sort of uh, magic item, and you recognize the spell to be
Just gate, no other words attached.
um. I guess it technically would be Arcane Gate. Yeah, Arcane Gate is level 6.
Which is yeah, 6 level is a bit more reasonable. You create link teleportation circles that remain open for the duration. The duration is up to 10 minutes. Choose 2 points on the ground that you can see, 1 point within 10 feet of you, and 1 point within 500 feet of you. A circular portal, 10 feet in diameter, opens over each point. If the portal would open in a space occupied by a creature, the spell fails and the casting is lost. Okay, not sure why she's doing that right here. It doesn't seem like it serves much purpose, but okay.
She seems to be setting up for something. That's what she's doing.
Okay.
Um,
I'll be conversational. What you doing?
I'm setting up for yet another option for a getaway. Perhaps. Um, are you getting ready to head out again?
Yeah, we're heading a little ways north, taking care of something with one of Oak's family, dwarf woman. He's a
I'm
weird
totally
family.
here. Yongrilin, hi.
Dungeon Master did not make this clear to me.
Well, I had to drop off. Well, Riven's there because she had to drop off Hollis.
And no one moved from the map to go over that way, so
I point at Yongrilin.
yes.
This
This
thing.
woman, we are helping her do a thing.
Alessandra
Pancakes.
smiles and's like, alright. Hurry back. I'll keep an eye on the pup. And,
I may chant Hollis one more time as we're leaving.
which, you know, she's maged hand a little bit to pet Hollis too, so.
This dog just gets random pets.
Yes.
He's used to it at this
Spoiling
point.
So, yeah, so spoiled. Training him is going to be a disaster, thanks to you guys.
I mean, what can I say? What can I say? I'm like his uncle. That's my job. You're supposed to spoil the nephews.
Yes, every now and then, not every single day.
Bullshit. That only applies if you only see them every now and then. I have to see this guy pretty much every time we're in this town. So
Anyway, moving on. It's fine.
Map.
And the group gets ready to head out.
Do the big map.
To the world map.
And we begin making our trek. That general vicinity.
2 days of travel.
Yep, just roughly 2 days of travel.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And you're starting in about like a little ways halfway through the day due to Riven's whole adventure in the market. So you get about here before the first sitting down to take watch and that sort of various things.
Okay.
Alright.
Which
So-
watch is Yongrilin going to do? Who to bug? Or is she just going to sleep through everyone's watch?
That's actually a discussion that comes up as you're starting to travel. And so Yongrilin's like, okay, so I'm going to take up a watch tonight, but there's 4 of us. So,
You can buddy up with someone.
She can buddy up with Oak. Those two know each other.
Well, Oka's first watch.
you know what? Actually,
Uh-oh.
Flip a coin.
I'm scared.
Oh wait, you need three-sided coin.
Don't hug me. I'm scared.
I'm sure if she hugged you, just the slightest squeeze will break Locke.
Exactly.
alright,
Oak is scared of Yong.
okay. I think I actually want to, since this is going to take a little over 2 days, I already know Oak. I've hung out with him quite a bit. And if we're going to be sort of working together a little bit, I would like to get to know the two of you. So, how's your watches normally go? And then Oak speaks up and I'm first, then Locke, then Riven, usually. Alright. In that case, Locke, I'm watching with you.
Does he whimper?
A little, yeah. Swallows heavily.
Calm down.
Okay.
We're allies here. It's not like I'm going to hurt you or something.
I thought you were going to say hug.
I kind of point at Riven and say, she doesn't try, but she's almost managed it anyway. Actually, wait, no. I remember the bedroll, Riven.
Gorda raises an
What?
eyebrow and looks to Riven. Bedroll? What?
What bedroll?
Mine. Don't
I don't
pretend like you don't know what you did. You remember. You were laughing. Oak
I
gave
don't
you
see
up.
your bedroll.
Riven,
I
it's okay.
telepathically say to Riven, I am going to burn you. Somehow, someday, some way, I am going to burn you. In your sleep.
Uh,
No, she was just like trying to make a joke and be like, I don't see your your bedroll disappeared. Because I imagine how the backpacks are is just that it's like you got your things in there, and then it's like the bedroll on the bottom of the pack or on the top of the pack.
Yeah.
I was making reference to like how you scared the shit out of him a few nights ago.
Oh yeah,
When you woke him up, he was complaining about that again.
yes.
It's fine. I won't do anything like that. And then Oak speaks up and he says, yeah, right. And then Yongrilin sort of like playfully smacks at Oak's shoulder and goes, I only do that to you because I know
Wait,
that
does she have to jump up to hit his shoulder?
No, she reaches
Probably.
up. She reaches up.
Oh,
Keep in mind.
okay.
Keep in mind, Oak may technically be a furbolg in a giant race,
But he's still slightly small.
but Oak is a slightly small giant, so he's actually only like a little over 6 foot. He's about Riven's height.
No, he's a bit taller than Riven.
Yeah, but he's a little taller than Riven, a little broader, but he's not super tall to make it hard for Yongrilin to hit. And besides, Yongrilin's somewhat more lanky for a dwarf. She's not quite as stocky as most other dwarfs are. So yeah. Anyway, she's not that short. Basically, she's probably maybe like the only tall scope of dwarves. So it's not that hard for her to smack at his shoulder and all that other various things. But she sort of playfully smacks at his shoulder and goes, I only do that to you because you're bigger. I'm not going to do that to him. I'd squish him. Anyway, I'll have first watch with you. Sound good?
I suppose.
Alright then. Settled. I'm going to go sleep for the first bit, as you do, and Oak can wake us both up. Yongrilin ventures down to sort of bed down for the night. She has her own little bedroll and all sorts of other various things.
And Locke gets some sleep himself.
Guessing Riven lays down for the night as well.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. Let's have a perception from Oak. Because he's good at these things or something. Okay.
Damn.
26. Nice. Peaceful for Oak. Not a whole lot going on. He's sort of pointedly, as per like video of the show, so to speak. Everyone else is asleep. He's looking around. He sees, like, you're not that far away from town just yet, and he sees like the nighttime air and around the tops of Yukiegi, and it's very peaceful. And then Locke is awakened by Oak with a simple sort of poke with his quarterstaff. Not in an aggressive manner, but just in a hey, get up sort of thing.
My turn.
Indeed. There's not a whole lot going on right now. Also, he like spins his quarterstaff around and smacks it right in front of or right beside where Yongrilin was sleeping.
Locke just kind of watches with this like tense lip pulled back look, wide eyes. Just...
And Yongrilin bolts up, does a roll backwards, grabs at his staff, and pulls. And he's like, whoa. Okay, you're awake. Good.
You two are weird. Has anyone ever told you that?
Yongrilin chuckles and it's like, eh. It's a good way to showcase what I can do, I suppose. And then
Yes, I suppose.
lays down to rest for the night. And it's to Yongrilin and Locke.
I suppose this is the part where we roll perception.
Yep.
Me with all my 0 on perception. 3!
Nice.
What does Yong get?
Let's see. 9. 9? Yeah.
Oh, you guys are too busy talking. Or just staring at each other.
So, seems
so
peaceful.
Locke, so yeah, nice. So Locke's just like sitting across the fire from her, kind of keeping his eyes out, and he has like his black book open in his lap. He's like kind of like sitting cross-legged. Anytime he looks in Young's general direction, if she happens to be looking back at him, he like quickly looks back down into his book. Just like, do not make eye contact. The dangerous animal will kill you if you do.
So you like books, huh?
I suppose.
So perhaps some sort of mage, wizard, sorcerer.
I kind of lift one hand and let the inky blackness roll around it. You're not
Oh,
far off.
that.
Yeah, you're not
Thing.
far off. I'll dispel it and sort of look back down into the book.
I'm guessing you don't quite understand where it comes from, then.
Oh, I know where it comes from. I sort of pat the book, thump it close, and hold it up. Comes from the thing that owns this.
Okay. Well, I'm all about these. And she sort of flexes her fists and sort of, almost like Wolverine sheath, unsheath claws thing, because the way that she moves them around.
Those are intimidating.
Yeah, they are. Had them
Please don't
specially
point
made
them at
too,
me.
actually.
Oh, goody. So that means I have to fear you doubly more because they're custom made.
Yeah. Alright. Well. Seems to be not a whole lot going on, as Oak spoke about.
Yes, I guess we're lucky on that front. Quiet night.
Maybe if we get a little closer north, we'll see some more action.
I guess just so long as we know it's coming first. I don't like surprises.
She doesn't really like surprises either.
I mean, last surprise I got, I kind of jerk my thumb over at Riven, was her waking me up a little bit before I was ready by shaking the crap out of my bedroll. Damn near shat myself.
She sort of blinks and tilts her head at you. You are scared of a lot of things.
I have very good reason to be.
Still here, aren't you?
Look, I'm scared of a lot of things, but the things I need to do outweigh that.
Well, just so that you're aware, courage is a thing that comes from those who are scared. So at least you can say you're brave.
I mean, yeah, I guess. There's a fine line between being brave and stupid, though, so. I find, and near as I can tell, it's very easy to cross from one side of that line to the other in the wrong direction. Maybe I'm being brave right now, but if the chips are down for it, I'll be a coward any day.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes then.
Hmm.
Then it's sort of this somewhat awkward silence.
So, remind me again what exactly we're doing on this trip of yours. It's been kind of a hectic few days, so my mind's a little...
Well, I enjoy treasure.
I imagine most people who live in the modern world do.
As such, I heard of a troop of kobolds that had stumbled upon a treasure trove of sorts, treasure layer, and I thought it would be fun to get a group together, go out, take down the kobolds, get the treasure for themselves, that sort of thing.
Right, right. Don't kobolds tend to worship dragons?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean,
And
most of the time.
And dragons like to make treasure hoards. Greedy things a lot of the time.
It's also true, yes.
So we're going to a bunch of kobolds in a cave with a giant hoard of treasure.
The cave we're going to is not near big enough to house a dragon. I don't see a dragon being there.
Everything starts small, dragons included. Just something to think about.
Fair point. How about this? If we see a full-on dragon in there, then that's the point when we actually, back off. We leave.
Yeah, if we see a dragon, I'm leaving. At that point, I think running away will be justified.
Agreed. Dragons are terrifying things.
Yeah.
Even the kids.
Yeah, and as impressive as this is, I swirl up the inky blackness again, I don't think that's going to do much against a big, scaly lizard of death.
Be surprised. Oaks told me about a few monsters that you've taken out by that blast.
Really?
Yeah. You destroyed a goblin with that sort of a blast. You apparently killed a badger with that kind of a blast.
A scrawny, green-skinned, short humanoid, and a wild animal. Totally stacks up to a gigantic, scaly lizard of death. Totally, I see your point. Well made.
And I'm trying to give you, some more courage, but okay.
I mean, it's kind of a leap to go from, ooh, little green-skinned humanoid to thing that could eat me in one bite.
To be fair, dragons have been known to shapeshift. So.
That doesn't make it better.
She just chuckled.
Locke just kind of looks at her like, what is wrong with you? Why would you say that?
She's just smiling and laughing at you at this point.
Oh, great. Next thing I find out, you are actually a dragon who's luring us into a trap for your kobold minions to skewer us with your spears and...
We'll be fine.
I detect magic on Yongrilin.
Ooh.
Because that's a thing I can just do.
You do detect magic on Yongrilin?
Yes, I detect magic on Yongrilin.
Give me a moment.
Oh, God.
I gotta check something.
Oh, boy. Of course, it's worth noting, detect magic is a verbal and somatic things like Yongrilin is going to see a Locke like doing a few hand motions and mumbling something to himself.
Oh, yeah. So, short of, there's not a whole lot she can do to do anything about it. She doesn't assume you're casting a spell at her because the spell that... Actually, she doesn't have any nature in arcane, so she sees you going through the hand motions to do a thing and she's... She sort of stands up quickly and she's, "What are you doing?"
It would probably be about that point that the spell would actually go off and I'd get my pings.
Yeah.
So, what do I get?
There is a ping of magic that is inside her pack. She has a magic item on her.
Ah, okay.
Um,
What school would you prescribe it to?
I would say, due to the nature of what it is, it's probably some variation of either conjuration or transmutation.
Huh. All right.
I'm not entirely sure if the nature of the item is it's made purely from magic, or it takes something that already exists and applies magic to it. If it creates it from magic entirely, then it would be a conjuration thing. But if it had applied it to it, then it would be transmutation.
All right. Once Locke sort of gets out, just kind of lowers hands, sort of gives sort of a well-meaning smile, to say, "It's okay. I was just making sure you weren't a shapeshifted dragon or something."
she like sits back down and she chuckles. It's, me? No, of course not.
Can never be too careful.
Why would a dragon want to shapeshift into a dwarf?
Because no one would expect them to.
Fair point. So, a spellcaster who's a bit of a coward, but is actually
I'd be offended, but I mean, you're not wrong.
spellcaster, somewhat of a coward, and actually pretty clever.
Well, I try. I mean, I lift up one of my skinny arms. It's pretty much all I've got going for me.
Yeah, you need to get some meat on your bones.
Riven keeps saying that, and she keeps throwing meat at me.
I only threw it at you once.
Shut up, you're asleep.
Rolls over.
All right. Speaking of Riven, we should go and wake her up. Do you want to, or should I?
I mage hand and start poking Riven on the nose.
And does Mage Hand have somatic and verbal components too?
Let me double check.
Assuming it does.
Yes, it does. Verbal somatic. So, like, I do a quick little muttering, and an invisible hand just starts repeatedly booping Riven on the nose. Boop, boop,
As you're doing your
boop,
spell,
boop, boop.
Yongrilin's like, or you could do that. That works too.
Trust me, it's best not to wake her up right in her face. She gets grabby.
Interesting.
What?
It's your turn.
She sits up.
I'll dispel the mage hand and head back over to my bedroll. All right, I'm heading back to sleep. And you, he points at Riven, don't do that thing that you did last time, okay? Wake me up
I will.
normally.
All right.
And he kind of waves like, all right, good night. And falls asleep.
As once Locke's laid down, Yongrilin looks to Riven before she lays down for the night, and she goes, "Now, tomorrow night, I'm watching with you." I hope that doesn't bother you too
Okay.
much.
No.
Good to know. I think me and you will have more things to talk about than me and Locke, but
Okay.
least of all that drink you drank last night.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty cool. Just so you know. Sure, you passed out for 8 hours, but Anyway, have a good night, Riven.
Night.
Does Riven want, as Yongrilin lays down to sleep, having just, had that passing conversation with her?
I guess.
Okay. Roll for me perception.
10.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna actually have her roll stealth for this, because she's actively going to try to hide this. And could fail. Because why the heck not? Ooh! Okay. Okay. Alright,
That's
that
a
works.
critical fail.
Indeed, that works for me. Alright, so you sort of watch Yongrilin as she lays down for the night, and she... Yeah, we'll do it this way. She lays down, and she lays on her pack for a moment. She's starting to set up her bedroll. Bedroll gets set up. Instead of laying on the pillow part of the bedroll, she lays on her pack. And then she stops real quickly, reaches into the bedroll, and sort of looks around, hoping nobody notices, but doesn't realize that Riven is still sort of passing glance. And you see Yongrilin pull out of her pack a little... Like, Oak and Locke are still completely asleep. And she pulls out what looks to be a little... looks almost like a plush toy or a doll of some sort.
Aww.
And
somehow I could guess that. It was like, it's a stuffed animal. Or some toy.
she pulls it out, and she sort of looks around, trying to make sure no one's around, but she seems to be more worried about the doll itself. And you hear her... It's not a frantic whisper, it's just a more, sort of, like, stage whisper, almost. It's a more loud whisper because she's not realizing that someone is watching her from the sides. And she sort of holds the doll up to her face, and she whispers to the doll, sort of smiling to herself, though you don't really see the smile from your angle.
At this point, she's just like... Riven's just like... Now she's interested in what she's watching, and she's just like... What? It's just like... Not, she doesn't say anything, she's just this confused look on her face.
Wait, what did Yongrilin whisper? I didn't hear it.
She hasn't whispered anything yet, but she hold it up to her lips, and she looks off to the side and points to Locke, and she simply says, "Whenever he's nearby or sees you, leave me alone, you creepy kid." And then she sets the doll back into her pack.
From a confused to look like... Okay. She goes from like a confused what to like, okay.
And then she sets the doll back into her pack and goes back to sleep.
Huh. I take it that's what dinged my detect magic then.
Yes, it was.
A doll that talks with custom
Perhaps.
recorded messages.
That's slightly creepy and funny at the same time.
At first it was adorable, now it's worrying.
It's Yongrilin, dude.
We don't know her very well yet.
No, you don't, but, you will. Hopefully. She's a fun character. Anyway.
I hope.
So, Yong, you get to go with your watch as normal. You can make yourself another perception check.
Okay.
I'm actually glad that she nat won her stealth roll.
19.
Alright. Peaceful night, nice and calm. Not a whole lot going on. You do, of course, pass a glance up further north toward your old village since you're sort of heading in that direction, but you don't really see anything from this distance that would tell you one way or the other if the troop is still up that way or anything like that. And you have a peaceful morning, or peaceful night into the morning. Does Riven do anything special as the morning comes?
Oh yeah, does her normal routine and stuff, and this time she's actually gonna add a little prayer this time.
Try to make another prayer into your nightly routine.
Yeah, it's just this time it's just like this time it's just like not so, you know, noobish. But
Still
Not so
definitely the prayer. Still definitely the prayer of an amateur, but not like awkward stuttering over yourself.
right.
Yeah,
Since you
yeah.
had split thinking.
Yeah, and she's basically, I guess, in this prayer talks about the dream that she had the other night.
Mm-hmm. Um. Well, I told you before, Sam, that I had made a little mechanic for the prospect of her actually getting any sort of response from her prayers. And you did actually get a response. I'm just not entirely sure what the response should be. Because before you got a simple, like, you sensed a presence and the wind suddenly brushes the hair out of your face. Now you get another presence, and since you're speaking of the dream that really, like, was stressful and bothered you, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
you get this sort of, this feeling of warmth, like everything has a reason, balance sort of thing, the same sort of balance that Cal would always talk to you about, that sort of thing. And it's a presence that's more there than it was before, as if it's someone there trying to relax you and make you not so anxious about it, I guess. You don't hear anything. You don't hear any speech or anything. But there is a very clear sense of there is someone, something there.
I just can't see them.
It's more like they're around you. It's yeah, it's just this calming feeling for you. And then Oak wakes up next, followed closely by Yongrilin herself. And Oak is, well, at least we didn't have very much to worry about tonight, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yongrilin sort of smiles and stretches, pops her knuckles a bit. Alright, let's finish this trek up that way. I want to knock some reptile heads.
Okay.
And wake Locke up, I'm assuming in a more peaceful manner, as he asked.
You can wake them up.
Oak gently wakes up Locke. Alright.
We're heading out.
Yep, we're ready to go. Gotta get going here.
And he's up.
Alright. So he's up, and you begin venturing northward. Well, west northward.
About here at the end of the day, about another half day after the thing.
Yep, about here. Riven, of course, knowing that such an area is nearby.
Yeah, she's going to stealthily lead them towards it.
Well, I mean, if you're leading the charge of where they're going, you can easily
Yeah,
lead them
so
to it.
they have to follow me.
Yeah.
Since, oh, what is this, force around? Oh yeah, I have advantage on tracking and shit.
What are you doing with tracking?
Oh, not tracking, I meant like,
Belt
I
and
have
stuff?
well, not stealth, more of like, I'm not like overcome
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
by harsh terrain in the forest.
Yeah, you're fine. So you sort of lead them over to this more special spot of sorts?
Yeah.
What does your
And it's
special...
getting like late after. The special spot, what it is?
What does it look like?
It's a small clearing and stuff. There's no, I'm guessing, no snow on the ground.
No, not here.
Okay.
That's weird.
But there's like a creek that runs through it and
It's
stuff.
it's closer to the mountainside themselves, and there is a among the mountains there is like just on the cusp of like a the spring running through leads to like a hot spring kind of a thing, and it keeps the area here more warmer so that it's more grassy than the snow around it.
Well, the thing is, okay, well,
It's-
there's a particular flower that needs to bloom when it snows there.
Yeah,
So,
Huh.
it's just a
Um,
nice little area.
What the heck you are we stopping in this really pretty clearing? I thought we were gonna go kill lizard thingies.
there's like forest around it of the north, the trees. There's a little like stream coming from the mountains and stuff. Like there's like a little waterfall in it and stuff. And there's these like, since there's like no snow, there are these like bud things that look closed.
Little flowers.
Well, not really little, but still.
So, what's this place, Riven?
It's a safe place to stay for the night.
Oh, I see. Is there a story behind it?
She like looks at Locke, just like, it's a safe place.
Yongrilin speaks up. The answer is yes, but she doesn't want to tell us, and that is fine.
I'm not an idiot, Young. I can read subtext.
So, night watches again, then? Says Oak.
Like, did we get here just before dark, or
A little bit before
like we
dark,
would
yeah.
set up camp and just like slightly relax a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, after camp is set up and stuff, Riven's just gonna walk away. Riven walks away from the
Right, I
camp
know.
where we set up the camp.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Locke's kind of gonna turn to Oak like, do you know where she's going?
I don't know, but
She just goes to like the other side of the clearing.
yeah, we can still see where she's at. She just moved
Yeah,
off a little
you
ways.
can still see where she's at. She just walks away.
Okay, so you didn't specify a destination, so I was thinking like you're just walking out. I was like, what the fuck?
Though she does stop in front of a tree and just stands there.
Is there anything particularly interesting about this tree that Locke can notice from where he is?
Roll perception.
great. Me with all my +0 in perception.
Who knows? You might get a natural 20.
Yeah, that'd be nice. 6.
Nope. It's
Nope.
just a tree.
Oak is going to roll perception.
Oh, he with his +9.
This thing and the bop. 14.
Why couldn't you just roll from his character
Because
sheet?
I'm lazy and I didn't have the sheet open at the time.
Okay.
Um,
I would say there's something carved in the tree.
let us roll for Yongrilin because why not? I'm actually going to roll from her sheet because I can't remember what her perception is. Nope.
It's
Never mind.
She doesn't know where Riven went.
That's
Nope.
a natural 1.
Indeed. Alright.
She's too focused on like food or something.
She's,
maybe
she's having a nice dinner. She's
A
fine.
wine flask, or is that?
She's having a nice dinner. It's fine. Okay. You say it's pretty close.
It's like on the other side of the clearing that she had everyone set up camp from. So it's like
Okay.
maybe 30. I'm trying to think of how big this clearing is.
I've kind of been picturing it as being around like 60 feet myself.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. So she's like 50 feet or so.
Oak, I'm sort of gonna look to Locke and I see some sort of carving on that tree over there. I don't know. Do you think I should go over there and question it or just let her be?
I mean, if you want to, that's you. That's on you.
And then Yongrilin speaks up, having not really seen anything, and she's just sort of eating at the food and drinking at a wine flask, as was said earlier, and she's... Let the girl have her secrets, it's fine.
All right, then, keep your secrets.
Oak just stays back and lets Riven mess with this tree that's nearby that seems to have some sort of carving or something in it
Yeah, she doesn't come back.
for a bit.
No.
Oh, she just doesn't come back?
Yeah, she actually camps out over there.
Oh, okay. Works for me. She is still going to do watches, right? I would assume so.
Probably a good idea. Just better safe than sorry.
Alright. Everyone else beds for the night. And does Riven go to sleep where she's at?
Yes,
Once Oak
she's
looks
like
over
asleep, like leaned up against the tree, asleep.
once Oak sees that she's asleep, he relaxes a bit and focuses on his watch. I don't know why I'm still rolling it like that, but whatever.
At 25, but still.
So Oak is peaceful. As was said, this is a sort of much calmer, sort of peaceful place. Oak looks out over towards where he knows that Riven mentioned her old town was. Sees indications that the town is not empty by virtue of like smoke and stuff like that. But figures he'll discuss that with Riven in the morning if he has any concerns therein. But he doesn't hear anybody traveling in this direction or anything of that sort. He then follows through with waking up Locke for his watch.
Okay, my turn.
Hmm?
Perception. Right.
And as he wakes up Locke for his watch, he he sort of chuckles to himself and points to Riven, who's all the way on the other side of camp. And he goes, "Don't forget when you wake up her, you also have to wake up her." Points closer to Yongrilin.
Uh,
Well, at least you have a handy spell to help you with those.
Yeah. 19 on perception, by the way.
Yep. It's peaceful. It's calm. You see the same sort of like gentle smokestacks that says that there is some sort of encampment or town nearby, but you don't hear any noise of any drums or any kind of like attack or anything coming in your general direction.
Well, I'll keep a very close eye on that, and when it comes time, I'll use Mage Hand to, I don't know, boop Yongrilin a few times. Just poke, poke, poke. A few
Where are
times
you
on the nose.
poking her?
On the nose.
Tip of the nose, yeah. It's a boop. That's what boops are. You poke them on the tip of the nose.
Okay. So Yongrilin sort of like jerks awake and then snaps at the air in front of her face, but there's nothing there for her to grab.
Oh, good. You're a grabber too. Good to know.
Oh. I guess it's morning, huh?
It's your turn, at least.
Oh, right.
Did you forget you're supposed to be keeping watch with Riven?
I did.
Locke turns and goes over to do the same thing to Riven. Boop the nose. Boop. Boop.
How far does the mage hand go?
The Mage Hand has a.
Or
reach,
alternately, you can ask how close Locke gets to the tree.
30 feet.
Oh, you're gonna have to move closer. She's 50 feet.
Yeah, I know. I move until I'm close enough to do it. So I move 20 feet and then whoosh, whoosh. Boop. 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 Boop.
You see, actually, if you're focusing on poking Riven on the face, or are you going to look around where she's at?
I'll kind of look around, but my main priority is just getting her up for a watch.
Yeah. Roll perception again.
Alright.
Oh,
1.
How are you seeing Riven?
You're,
Anyway.
you're focused on waking Riven.
Yeah, so. Boop. Boop.
I'm awake.
Okay, your turn for watch with Yong. I dispel the Mage Hand and shuffle over to my bedroll.
Actually,
Uh,
okay. Yongrilin has followed you as you were mage handing and looking at Riven as she wakes up. But-
Riven doesn't move. She's like sitting against the tree.
So are we going to keep watch on this side of the camp then?
I will.
I'll just let you nice ladies figure out what you're doing. And Locke goes and hides in his bed.
Hmm.
Emphasis on the word hide.
Roll stealth. I mean, you don't have to, but you can.
No, it's just a bundle. It's very clearly being shaky.
All right. Anyway, so Yongrilin sighs, but keeps her distance from the tree and just sits down nearby. And she's, it might have been better to, keep watch near the fire, but I guess it's a bit warmer here.
No, it's warmer by the fire.
So, is there something special about over there?
Maybe.
I see that you wield axes and look like a hunter. I'm assuming that you're...
I am indeed a hunter.
Okay. So, a giant kin cleric, a terrified mage half-elf, and a half-orc hunter ranger, perhaps. It's an interesting bunch.
In the words of Rufus Shinra from Final Fantasy VII, what a crew.
I wonder how well a monk with a little bit of baggage and a little bit of extra expertise fit in with such a ragtag group.
I don't know. Like you said, we're a ragtag bunch of group, so I'm sure you'll fit in fine.
Alright. And perceptions for purposes of watch. 11, yay.
13.
Slightly better. Although I think our rolls are almost the same.
No.
9 and 8.
Yours are slightly lower. Anyway, she sighs, and it's very sort of awkward silence for a bit. So why is someone like you journeying with someone like Locke? Makes me feel like you just stumbled upon him, and that was that.
Pretty much.
Is he at least
What
a
a
strong?
riveting conversation.
Oh, yes.
I know.
Exciting.
I know. The problem is, Yongrilin is also the type of person that is not going to speak about secrets. She's not going to pry. She has her own secrets that she keeps. So it's not. It makes it awkward for her to be in a place that obviously has some history behind it, but she doesn't want to ask about the history because she wouldn't.
Alright. She was saying something about me. Backtrack to that.
Yeah. What do you think of his magic then?
It's interesting. If Yongrilin was closer, she would see a slight twitch in the face from her remembering when Locke hit her in the face.
Yes. I can't say that I've seen very much magic like that before. I mean, I know of it, of course, but haven't seen that one used in combat. It's going to be interesting. Assuming he just doesn't run away when he sees some of the kobolds before.
So, what exactly are we facing?
A kobold treasure mine. Well, not mine. Cave. Treasure cave.
Okay.
Locke
How
over
do
there
you
was...
know it's a treasure grave? What
people have said it is. It's a cave filled with kobolds, and kobolds like to collect shiny things. So
So
likely...
just assuming.
So, process of elimination.
It's like reasonable logic jump to make. Though I've also heard that there are such a thing as the dragon mages among kobolds, and Locke said something about the second he sees a dragon, he's going to bolt. So,
Oh, well, this shall be interesting.
let's hope he knows the difference between a kobold dragon mage and an actual dragon.
Let's hope.
I mean, there's one of them in there. There's almost always one. They're like the leaders of kobold clans at times. But we'll see. We'll see what we see. She she sort of, once the watch has gone on for a bit and it's pretty peaceful even with your lower perceptions, she sort of awkwardly makes her way back towards where she was sleeping and back towards her pack.
Okay.
And that's that. I don't think Riven's the type to ask about the doll she saw in the night, so.
No, she's just waiting for something to happen.
Nope. She lays down. Sure, I'll roll stealth again for her to.
Wait,
Try
she's
to-
laying back down? This is morning shift.
Well, she's going back to her pack.
Oh, if she lays down, Riven's gonna say something.
She reaches down to her pack that's among her things that's on the ground. So.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's not as bad. A 2. Well, a
Let's see,
7,
I'm a good
but
distance away.
she's decent distance away.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Alright, so she fiddles with her pack and, morning's starting to come. Does Riven have herself another prayer?
Yeah, this time she's like standing and she's actually has her hand against the tree. Kind of matching up to a couple additional marks that were on the tree
Mm-hmm.
below the carving, so.
Yep. Thing, boop, 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 boop. Wow. Okay. Do you say anything? What's the focus of your prayer this time?
I guess give us safe guidance against the kobolds.
Okay. Do you feel that same sort of welcoming warmth watch over you, or wash over you rather? And you hear this time just this soft voice that you don't recognize really, but it feels comforting. That just says, "We'll keep an eye on you."
This Riven like looks around and like tries to grab at her axe. Who's there?
No one's around you.
She's not very familiar with how prayer works, apparently.
Nope.
You talk to imaginary friends and they talk back, or in this case, you just talk to friends and they talk back. Because this is D&D, the gods are real, apparently.
Indeed. I mean, if the otherworldly beings of a warlock patron are real, come on.
Right? The evidence one's not a god in its own right.
And you make your way closer. It's a little earlier part of the morning. Yongrilin comes to sort of guide you a little bit more once you get closer. And you now have yourself a opening to a cave, basically. And Yongrilin sort of looks back at the two of you and here we are. Are you all ready to just dive into this?
1 second. Okay, let's see. I need to double check something.
Riven just looks at Locke.
Okay, so Locke is going to reach into his pack, pull out the gum with his eyelash in it, kind of squish it between his fingers for a few seconds while mumbling to himself, and he's kind of gonna like put his hand over his chest, and then Locke's just gone. I have cast invisibility.
Well, that's one way to do that, anyway.
Now how do we know he won't run away now?
I would say that we were going to stealth our way in, but I think he's just one-upped us on that.
Oh, no, I can one-up everyone. Well, no, I can't be invisibility, but...
Anyways, Locke's going to say, I'm still right here, right? I'm just invisible.
Yes, I know.
Riven just like holds up a hand and be like, don't wander too far away from me.
I won't.
Shit!
What?
Mm,
What?
I can't do it because I forgot to get a component.
What do you need?
I need mistletoe, ash, and a sprig of spruce.
Yeah, no, I don't have any of those things.
Riven would have the intention of being able to do this spell, so I'm going to retroactively say that she picked it up in the market in and around the time she went and got the fruit and spoke to Julia.
How very kind of you.
Oh, thank you so very much.
I mean, it makes you were intending to do it. You were intending to do it. Therefore, Riven was intending to do it. You forgot the spell component. Riven would not.
All right.
Yeah. Does
casting pass what's on me?
Yes, you are.
Is that going to affect the rest of us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Does invisibility, the actual ability of invisibility, does invisibility actually improve stealth in any way?
I mean, I imagine it would grant
advantage.
Can't you just look at the invisibility spell?
Look at invisibility spell and see what it says.
It doesn't explicitly state that. It just says a creature you touch, which I imagine includes myself, becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it is on the target's person. The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. That's here. And it has a higher levels thing, but like just in a practical sense, I always just figured that would give you like advantage on stealth or sleight of hand.
Okay. Fair enough.
Like that's just how I always figured it would work. That's what I would give my players at any rate.
Yeah, but if you stay within 30 feet of me, you get a plus 10 bonus to stealth.
All right, so yeah, Locke will start scouting ahead, then kind of starting to enter in, taking point.
Okay.
Dark vision thing going.
So yeah,
advantage and add 10 to whatever I roll. 33.
Yeah. Total. So just to sit there, Riven like takes out a stick. Yes, a stick.
So and then yeah, go ahead.
And then just like something in her hand, and like slightly taps the stick, and then shoots it up in the air, and ash like goes everywhere.
Yeah, you basically like make a little mini smoke cloud, like fliff.
Yeah. So, and also we cannot be tracked except for magical means.
Nice.
All right. So
everyone else needs to roll their stealth now. I got a 33 total.
You roll your stealth, Riven.
I will. Oh, wait. Cancel. I have to actually do an actual dice on this, don't I?
I mean, if you want to add your plus 10, or you could just do it by hand.
No, the thing is, I can't sit there and like. I guess. Oh well.
Here. You could do. I mean, you could roll 21. It like Locke did. You could roll it like Locke did. But.
Either way, 21.
Okay, so Yongrilin. 25.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna say, but.
I mean, she's close, so 25.
Mm-hmm.
And then Oak. Oak sees Locke go poof.
All of a sudden.
Oak sees Locke go poof with invisible, and then you do pass without a trace. Yongrilin just smiles and starts to stealth on her own. And then Oak sort of presses his hands to his chest, bows his head, poof, and Oak goes invisible.
Oh, wow.
Because Oak actually has that as a furbolg. I just forgot he had it.
Yeah, still,
yeah,
roll
that's
stealth.
right.
And then rolls stealth. He now rolls stealth with advantage.
And gets that plus 10.
And gets the plus 10.
And Locke has telepathic communication, so shit, we're set.
So, Oak. Stealth.
The thing is, we can't talk to you.
Oh,
Oh,
yours,
Oh,
I can tell
nice.
you can-
that is a 31.
Yay,
natural.
advantage.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure when it comes to my telepathic communication, you can reply to me. I
Well,
think.
we can reply to you. We can't actually try to contact you.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, still, I can act as kind of like the messenger of the group, and also like.
Yes, but you have to like sit there and actively like check in with us.
Alright.
I mean, we're
So
going into
you're
a
all
kobold line. That's not too much to ask.
you're all stealthed, and you can make your way into the darkness of the mine.
So they're like the two kobolds ahead of us. Like, imagine they're talking to each other.
They're interacting, sort of bantering back and forth, but they're speaking in Draconic.
Do I know Draconic? No, I do not. I know Common, Elvish, Deep Speech, and Sylvan.
Oak does not
Nope.
know. Oak does not know Draconic. Does Yongrilin? He does not. Okay. So no one understands what they're saying. They're just conversing, and they have no clue that you are there, or that any of you are there.
Okay, one at a time, I will telepathically message each of the other members of the party and suggest that we sort of work our way
question.
through. What?
How dark is this cave?
It's fairly dark. Yeah.
So, how is our dwarf friend and Forbog doing?
Pretty sure dwarves have dark vision.
I mean, they're staying pretty close to those that they know would have dark vision. I don't know if Yongrilin had dark vision. Hold on. Yes, she does.
So the only one here who can't see in the dark is our Furbolg, and he's probably got like a hand on Riven or something so that he can just follow along.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was suggesting, telepathically, one at a time to each person so that they can each get their replies in, and sort of like keeping a mental track of the votes, that before we like attack any of the kobolds, we work our way further in to just assess the situation and do proper scouting, figure out exactly what we're up against, their numbers, what they have, and what the treasure they're guarding is, so that we can determine if this is even worth it.
Okay. I guess we do that.
Is everyone okay with that plan? And that's a yes from Riven.
Yongrilin's response is, "Yeah, I wanted to crack some heads, but I guess that makes sense."
And Oak's response?
And Oak is, "That might be a good idea, but if we're caught, we're going to pull the whole troop on us if we're further in. So depending on how many there are, it might also be beneficial to take some out as we go. These guys don't look very durable, and if any of us could, like Yongrilin or Riven could, keeping in mind Oak is speaking to Locke directly.
Right.
Oak is like, if Riven or Yongrilin or myself even could get a good solid hit in, or even you, of course, if you did it, you'd drop your invisibility, and same for me. But still, if Yongrilin or Riven could get a good solid hit in, take it out before they could see things, then we might be able to take them out one at a time without any of the rest of them alerting the rest. But
Worth noting. Scout ahead a little bit first and just figure out the first chamber or so.
I'm going to keep with the stealth checks with what you guys had as you were venturing in until things
We're
start to
all
get really
going
crazy.
to- Eventually, you guys stay near me.
Stay within 30 feet.
Da, 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 da. Boop.
Alright, the chamber can turn. Winds. Oak and Yong need to get the fuck over here.
They will.
I have a hard time doing both. Chill.
Never.
You now have a split in the path.
Which way do we go?
1 through 3 left, 4 through 6 right. We're going right.
Going to the right then.
Whoop.
Otherwise known as up.
Right, yes. Go up this way, it forks again! Yay!
Oh dear God.
That's right, kobolds.
Okay.
They don't like making sense. Well, it worked before. We're going left this time.
Okay.
Yeah, but the path should open up since we've reached here.
Yes,
A
yes,
little
yes,
bit more.
chill.
Alright.
I could only do so many things.
Let's give
This
them a
away.
minute to catch up with us.
This away. Boop. And it turns off. Just ignore that stupid text thing that I couldn't get rid of.
That's fine.
Watermarks. So we've only seen 2 kobolds since we've come in here, and we're a fair distance in now.
You are. Yep. Alright, so you make it up this way. The path and the ground starts to
I
shift
don't
a
think
bit.
Locke should be in first. I think
Um,
we need the punchies in first.
The path.
I was
Be on the
figuring.
safe
I was
side.
figuring. I was figuring the invisible people go first because they're invisible. But you know,
Well, I guess, but
The path starts to shift to more windy and stone instead of just dirt.
okay, is this a wall, like a doorway?
Mm-hmm. Essentially. It's an open doorway without a door, but yes.
so an archway.
So
Mhm.
we only come across 2 kobolds.
So far.
And to be fair, there were a lot of turns we didn't make back there. So who knows?
Okay. What do we see?
It looks to be stone path, and it's sort of built up. It almost looks, humanoid made, I guess, but not necessarily as much of a cave. But it's sort of built up and looks like some sort of... I mean, you're not looking at a whole lot of it yet, but it looks like something that's been built into the cave system itself to make it more, homey, I guess. Good way to put it.
Okay. So this
And
is
you
a corridor?
you can corridor, yeah, and you can
Okay.
people can make perceptions as you're getting in here.
Oh boy. Let's see.
That'll be fine.
Oh, 18. Roll high for change.
17.
17. Thing and then this thing and then boop. And boop. So the one with the highest perception rolled the lowest perception roll. Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Alright
dice.
then. Actually, that's true the whole way around. The ones in the middle had the same roll, and the one with the highest had the lowest, and the one with the lowest made the highest. Anyway. So. You are hearing, movement. Like, everyone but Oak, really. Well, Oak still hears it too. He rolled at least a 10, so it's fine. But you're hearing movement as if someone's moving across the stone, and you hear like clattering of stuff being moved around in this general vicinity.
Do we we need to make another stealth roll?
I would say since the terrain has changed slightly, yes.
No, I still get an advantage on it because invis plus 10. Because that's increase.
You still have your thingy thing.
Yeah, I know. It's still a 17.
Oh right, yeah.
24 total.
Yongrilin. Oak. Oak gets advantage still because he's still invisible. Boop.
Mm.
Good thing he's invisible. 20.
Yeah.
So 20, yep.
And then Yongrilin.
Oh!
Yep.
Oh no!
The 16.
Still!
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one. So you're
She gets impatient and go like, when am I gonna crack some heads in?
no, it's fine. You're actually, I got it. So you're passed without a trace with like these shadows and things that keep to try to help hide who you are or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And she gets impatient and starts to go forward a bit, clearly being more observed, and the shadows just like reach out around her and go in front of her, make her still somewhat hidden.
Somewhat hitting, but she's pushing it and making noise.
She is, yeah. And
So now she needs to be put in front of us in this corridor.
Are you going to reveal the corridor in all its glory, by the way? Because we're in it.
I can only do so much. Chill. Okay. She is here. And then boop. Corridor this way actually turns into a dead end going to the right, and then you have actually a staircase that goes up and a pathway that goes that way to the right and to the left. And she has ventured off in this general direction.
But this didn't.
I'm gonna telepathically message her. Slow the fuck down.
Fine.
Within 30 feet of Riven, all times.
Yes, okay.
Can you be
Going.
stay behind me?
Riven's going up.
Yes.
Okay. So which direction are you taking? Are you taking the stairs or are you going to the left? Doesn't dead
Well,
end.
that's the thing. I'm picking towards the left to see if that goes anywhere.
Yep.
And then it goes that far? Okay.
Looking up towards the stairwell, you have something like that. Actually, you can see further because it's 60 feet.
So let's see. Straight. Odds. We're going straight up the stairs.
Right behind you. Oak, come along. Then you have a sort of a. It almost looks akin to a foyer type thing. Boop. And there's a door over there, and there's a doorway up that way, archway, rather. Sort of wall cuts it here. You have a pathway that goes up and a pathway that goes to the right. And by the way, the clattering that you were hearing is coming from the vicinity of this way.
Okay, we're gonna go this way then.
Alright. And you're heading up that way. Narrow hallway is narrow-ish. Actually, more open than the last one, but you have that.
Jeez.
Did I mention this place is big?
I
Yeah.
noticed. I'm going to take that 24 stealth and I'm going to peek through the archway over here.
You see what actually, there's nothing in the room on the map, but it amounts to a sort of storeroom, almost like a pantry, and there's crates and things that are obviously like food of some persuasion, mostly small mammals, that are clustered up in that little storeroom there.
the clattering still coming from it?
The clattering is actually past the wall, down below this way.
I'll come back to that. I'm gonna come back to everyone else.
Yeah.
They were the
Riven
major.
goes up.
Locke follows.
Up, 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 and away.
Up the butt, up the butt.
Tish. We have this. Multiple different directions you can choose. You can go up or you can go left. Or right. Or rather, you can go up, you can go left, or you can go right.
How about 1 to 2 we go left, 3 to 4 we go up, and let's just go right.
Okay.
We're going left, I guess. Lead the way.
Don't go
Not
into the
a wall,
darkness
but
yet.
over there.
Okay, so. Boop.
Oh, okay, we've got some kobolds.
It's like I
Yes.
sit there and I just stop Yongrilin. Stop. Did you just scream?
No, not in character.
Okay.
He screamed out of
I-
character because Yongrilin and him collided.
Oh.
We did that weird thing in Final Fantasy games where your party members squish into you. Just
Yes.
Okay. So, another stealth? Since these are enemies.
Yes, in particular here, yes. Another stealth.
God, okay. 28.
31.
Nice.
Don't fuck us, Yongrilin.
More of these things. Yongrilin.
One of the.
Lup.
One of the.
23. Oak. 30 because advantage because invisible.
Mm-hmm. See, at this point, Riven is curious. 2 guards there. Treasure hunt. This way. So she goes this way. And she's gonna try to.
I don't know if even a stealth roll of 31 will help you sneak right by them when they're both looking your general direction. Without
Yeah,
cover
you're not
of
in.
some kind.
You're not invisible. I mean, you did roll with 31, so one
Oh,
could say,
right. Good point.
But
one
you're
could
not
say-
invi-
one could say that you find the hole in their perception, so to speak, that you could pass through. But the idea that one, you getting away from the group would make them all lose their bonuses to stealth,
Right.
and two,
yeah. Well, we can go about that far away and still have the bonus. So, Locke being invisible will step into the doorway and just peer through. I've got that 28 going, so I'm not that far behind it numbers wise. So I can have a quick peer ahead, like even stand in the doorway and then scuttle back.
yeah, you got a 60 feet thing, so all the way. Yeah,
I'm gonna stand. Yeah. So I'm like just gonna stand
in the middle.
in the door frame, see what I see, and then double back because I can't go much further without losing my stealth bonus.
Okay, I'll take that.
So what do I see here? What the fuck is that?
That would probably be the Kobold Dragon Mage.
Okay.
Unless that's a wall blocking the view. Oh, no, it's not a wall.
No, it's not a wall.
All right.
It's just a ledge that's up higher.
I will make my way back to the others and telepath, thingy. Okay, so I found a really big circular chamber, and there seems to be a weird winged thingy. But there also seems to be a big box with ornate decorations on it. So I think we found our treasure room.
Do you tell that to everyone individually?
Yeah, one at a time. Telepathy.
That would be the treasure room, yes, says Yongrilin, so let's get in there. Smash them up. Oak, on the other hand, is like, and I'm assuming the guards in front will probably alert, or perhaps the Dragon Mage himself would alert everyone in here to come charging at us And we have a few rooms that we haven't looked at to know how many kobolds are actually here.
Good point. Locke will go over
Okay.
and stand in this other doorway.
Going that way?
Locke kind of, yeah, like Locke kind of, to a lesser extent, fills the role of rogue in the group. So, well, before I can start multiclassing into wizard, I might grab a few cool levels in rogue when I get a chance.
So you look off this way to this side, and you see that the pathway goes back down to the dirt path from before. This seems to be the true, like, quote-unquote front entrance of sorts to the shrine type area you had. You sort of went in the side room. And you have a kobold down there.
Alright, I relay that to the others, and then I will check up here. What do we got?
But this room actually has a smaller, much smaller and less ornate than the previous room. But it does have a chest that is sitting just in this room alone, in the middle of the room, like right there. And it's just sitting there.
Yeah, I'm not dumb enough to fall for that.
Not a whole lot else around it.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm not dumb enough to fall for that. I'm going back to the others. Okay, so we've got a almost certainly trapped chest in that room up there. We've got a kobold to the other room over there. So we've got 3 in close proximity, and the big dude.
So you say there's
Don't-
treasure in a locked chest in the room up above, says Yongrilin.
Almost certainly trapped, and we can get to that when kobolds are dealt with. So now we need to figure out how we're dealing with them. I vote quick and quiet, take out as many as possible without alerting the others so that we have fewer to deal with when all hell breaks loose. In game terms, I'm basically suggesting let's kill that one first quickly and quietly, then deal with these two, and then deal with the big guy and try to just be sneaky about it.
Okay, I guess we move over here.
Right? If everyone's in agreement with that plan.
Yep.
Like this is something that I actually got like a lot of kudos for in another campaign I was a player in. Apparently, like I'm like I was given a lot of compliments on being a good strategist for some reason. Like I am.
Let's
Young-
see here.
Yongrilin taps. She doesn't say anything. She taps on Riven's shoulder, and she points to the kobold that you see down there, and she's basically indicating, me or you. She wants to know who she wants to know who we want to take out the kobold. And she's cracking her knuckles when she says that, when she does this as well. Which, yeah, that.
Riven just gives us like a hand motion. I was like, go ahead.
Do your thing. Show us what you can do.
Okay. So Yongrilin is going to go over here.
Pretty sure she gets advantage on the attack roll here.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
she most certainly does. Let's do your attack roll, Yongrilin. First things first. He gets advantage on the attack roll because he can't see her. And so an 18 most certainly hits. So
Oh boy.
Damage.
here's the thing. First,
What?
this thing would trigger. How do you this? There.
Oh.
Which it hasn't taken its turn in combat. The
Yeah, double damage.
double damage. So she gets a crit.
So roll damage and then multiply the result by 2, I suppose.
Yep. And this is with her gauntlets. Nice.
Roll damage.
Which is technically, well, I guess, yeah, I'll say it's 12 damage. I think we've been doing crits that way, even though technically Raw from the book has you double your dice, but not your bonus. So it would be 10 damage, not 12. Because the double goes to the 4, not to the 2. Or not to the 6. But anyway. So, yeah. She sort of, she smiles at Riven, walks over to the steps, sort of, looks down the stairwell at the kobold, takes 2 steps down, jumps the rest, and basically, essentially, from behind, claw swipe, and down he goes. The kobold, the kobold is about able to make as much as a meep, and then he's just ripped asunder.
He's just barking.
Oh, mama.
Yeah, okay.
Okay there, Locke.
Okay. So.
Bye-bye.
So is the... Okay, so I guess now we head back. Just like, okay.
Because Oak, okay, so we have a problem with these two. There are 2 of them, and they're standing watch. They're very clearly a guard. Because there's 2 of them, trying to sneak up on either of them is going to be a challenge with any of our visible people. So maybe Oak and Locke come up to do sneak attacks of some description. Like Locke could point.
I mean, they could get
Eldritch
advantage
Blast
on
in
the
back of
attack
them.
roll.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Get Yongrilin over here.
Yes. Hold on. I had to delete a kobold from my paper. Anyway,
Okay.
so are we wanting our invisible people to go over here and then cancel their invisibility by attacking?
Well, I mean, there's literally nothing else in visual range, so. Except for
Well,
that
if
guy,
you
but-
sit there and go here and here,
Yeah.
if they go invisible, they won't be seen by this kobold.
They won't be
Yeah.
seen by the big dude. So.
Oh.
Alright, now I just need to figure out what I'm gonna do here.
You can't be point blank Eldritch Blast. You have to sit there and take a step back 5 feet range. There you
Alright.
go.
Alright. Oh. Okay. I kind of do a telepathic countdown with Oak so that we have this in sync. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna use Eldritch Blast for this. Natural 20.
Nice. Double damage.
So, where's that +8 coming from?
You rolled... Wait, since it's statted into roll 20 for you to roll your damage, it rolled double dice.
The 3 is from the spell modifier thingy, correct?
Yeah.
And it's just that additional 8 is from the rate 8 you originally rolled, so.
Okay. So that's 11 plus 8, that's fucking 19 damage.
Yeah. That is a dead kobold. Good job.
Dust.
just reduced to dust. And what does Oak do? Can he match that?
Not really, no.
Well, I mean, can he kill it in one hit is what I meant.
Hopefully. We'll see. Rar. Oh, he gets advantage. Natural 20.
Wow!
So, it's like 3, 2, 1. And they're just gone.
Nice.
Oh, that worked out.
Together.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
All right. Well, my invisibility's gone, but
As is Oaks.
Uh-huh.
So, Yongrilin and Riven just watching this, not
Yeah,
being able to
We
see,
kind of stealth over in here.
not being able to see Riven and Locke, or Oak and Locke for this whole time. Just see them appear, and then the goblins are just eviscerated, just gone.
Kobolds. One of them
Or
was
kobolds.
reduced to dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them was reduced to dust, and the other like had its neck unceremoniously snapped.
Yep.
Can I see which way this kobold is facing?
He is actually currently facing towards the chest. He's not looking in the room behind him.
Ooh, convenient.
Oh,
I'm
good.
a roll stealth again. I don't get advantage anymore, but I still get a plus 10. 32.
Lynn. Oak.
Um,
That. You roll your stealth again as well, Riven. 28. He doesn't have advantage anymore either.
30.
Holy crap.
So, this is why we like this spell.
Then,
Yeah.
Yongrilin.
Please don't screw this, Yongrilin. Oh, no, good. Okay.
Perfectly synced, perfectly, not seen.
Okay, Riven takes a step in. What more of the room does she see?
It is a very large, very circular room. They look kind of like a shrine in the middle. So, we have more circle room, and something akin to that.
Okay, good. Riven's just gonna go up and go choppy choppy chop.
Okay. No hesitation. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, no, just choppy choppy chop.
Choppy, choppy, chop. Okay.
Oh. Shit, I can't do that. Okay, never mind. Without
Why
dropping
not?
the spell. Alright. Wait, hold on. Let me don't read my pass without a trace. Okay.
It's
So for
concentration,
1
but how long
hour,
does it
it's
last?
concentration.
How long does it
Huh?
last? How long does it last?
And that's up to an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so. I was just checking to see if it went away if I attacked, but it doesn't.
No, of course not. You're not actually going invisible.
Alright, so this is my first attack.
Advantage.
Oh, oops. I'll roll again.
Doesn't matter.
25!
Yeah, that most certainly hits.
12 slashing.
Okay. Math.
He's still standing?
He is.
Okay, that's good. But the thing is, it's not surprise anymore after I hit him once. So, it's just a normal roll from now on, isn't it?
Right.
Probably,
18.
That still hits.
9.
Okay.
Still standing?
Yep.
Last one.
yeah.
That's a miss.
That's a miss.
Yeah. And that one.
Yep.
Okay.
So, initiative.
Okay. Pull up the turn order thingy.
Indeed. I don't honestly think it's going to matter. So 21 from Oak or Locke.
Locke.
I can roll an 8. I like how like Riven just like goes up like, okay, everyone's destroying these, so go up. Whack, whack, whack,
Whack,
miss.
Whack, whack.
And to the point where it's like she swings hard to see if she can actually like finish it, and to the point where she's like turned around facing slightly to the others and be like, shit.
Alright. And
You
you rolled an
Oh.
8.
I rolled an 8.
Oh wow, 5. Alright. So and
Locke.
this. Yep, Locke. What you doing?
Well,
Please come finish it off.
He looks pretty beat up, just by the way.
I'm gonna run over here. And I am going just use a cantrip and cast Eldritch Blast. 20 to hit, not natural.
That most certainly hits.
11 damage.
Okay.
Is he dead?
He goes flying against the wall over here, and he's dead.
Woo! That was easy.
Yongrilin comes charging in, claws drawn. The blast shoots him across the room, and she's... Damn!
Locke kind of holds up his hand
Yeah.
and blows the last bit of the inky darkness away as if we're like a revolver and a Western.
It's all in the flick of the wrist.
Flash.
It's all in the flick of the wrist.
So it looks
Hey.
like the central. So from the map, it looks like this kind of central part of the thing is like weird liquid or something. Is it, or is that just?
It kind of looks like that on there, but it's actually because there is it's not a liquid, but it is reflective, because in the high part of the mountains up top, none of you bothered to look up, there's almost like a pathway of a sunroof that has sunlight that's coming down from outside into this room and reflecting off the bottom of the thing.
Detect magic real quick. Whoosh.
Okay. No form of magic in this room, really.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn to Yong. I'm come up here a little bit and start analyzing the chest and see if there's like traps or anything. If I can find anything like that.
Roll investigation.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
she would. Riven was going to do the same, so I'll have advantage.
Oh, okay, I'll roll that again. 14.
As opposed to a 4.
10.
Yeah, this chest does appear to be trapped.
Well then.
So do we have
Yongrilin's-
any way of untrapping it?
Well, I
Yongrilin,
have the. I'll let Yongrilin do it because she's apparently a rogue.
Yongrilin sort of looks over and is like, "Is that? I'm assuming that chest is trapped. You said that the ones before were, so
The ones before probably were. This one definitely is.
all right, I got it."
Riven steps back like a good feet away.
And then tools. Exactly how does thieves' tools work? She just rolls the.
With advantage. And no, you roll.
With your proficiency bonus and dexterity, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as you're proficient with it at any rate.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Yongrilin comes up to the case. She sort of flicks her claws away on her claws gauntlet, and it's not exactly because really all she does is she brings it out of her hand, out of her palm. But for those looking on from far away, like Riven and Locke, it looks like her claw gauntlets appear to be almost like a Swiss Army knife, and she's and then
Jesus.
she gets into it. It's fine, and she opens up the chest.
Okay, Riven will come back closer and let's see what is in the chest.
And
This
you see
singular chest.
it's just a single chest, yes, but it's a very large chest. There's a reason it takes up a 5-foot square. It's a big chest. It's almost like a, for a lack of a better way to put it, it's like a kid's toy box. You know how it's big and deep?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like that.
But it's
and-
giant.
You see that, put it this way, Locke could jump in and hide if he wanted to.
Okay.
Like standing upright.
No, he'd have to lay down, but it's he wouldn't have to, scrunch up into a ball that tightly to do it.
Neat.
But anyway, you see the mechanism that she has clicked and switched off there is a arrow set into the chest that's now unclicked and it's just sitting on the side of amongst the stuff that's sitting inside the chest. So
Can we take the bolt out of that?
it just appears to be a normal bolt for Riven. but it is an arrow.
That's fine.
And then inside the chest, we have there are a slew of gemstones akin to the same sort of gemstones you got out of his case before. The little pouch, but there's much more of them. And they're mostly all the small opaque ones, but there's a ton of gems, and there is even a sitting amongst the stuff. There is a vial that very clearly is something that you guys have bought recently and know of. There's a healing potion vial sitting in the chest.
This is it.
And there is Yongrilin sees it first, but she doesn't really have any means to do anything with it. There is a large, well, not really a large, but a big, full-on battle axe.
Ooh.
And
Hey, Locke. Detect magic again.
I detect magic specifically on the axe, although if it is enchanted, I won't be able to figure out specifically what that is without identify.
yeah,
No, I just wanted to see if the box was actually, lead line to stop that.
Ah, fair enough. Okay. Is anything inside magical? Like, was it lead lined blocked?
it actually is, because technically a health potion would trigger on detect magic, because it's got some magic
Right.
aura to it. So, and the axe has a small aura of magic on it as well. It is enchanted in some way.
Okay, yeah, that is an enchanted axe. I don't know what the enchantment is, and I have no way of finding out, but it's enchanted. When we get back to town, we could probably take it to my mother, and she could identify it.
Give me some time with it. She,
Okay.
pulls it out.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oak is over here as well.
Is there any way we could estimate, like, a very rough approximation of just how much the jewelry in here is worth in gold?
Well, my next question was going to be, how are we going to carry all of this out?
I have no idea.
Thing is,
Something-
there's
well,
more corridors that we have yet to go down.
I mean, we all have backpacks, right? And they all have plenty of like empty space.
Yeah.
I imagine we could probably fit at least a fairly large chunk of this stuff if we just like crammed our backpacks full of what we could get.
Yeah.
Hey, Dollar. How much would this box weigh?
Like
The box
contents
is-
included.
With the contents in it.
With the box would probably weigh. It's a big box. You're probably talking just in gemstones, health potion, stuff like that. Probably 20 pounds, 30 pounds.
No, Riven can easily carry it.
Yeah,
I was
on
figuring
her.
it'd probably be I was figuring you would probably be closer to something like 60 or 70 pounds, but all right.
Well, I mean, well, yeah, actually, it would be solid wood, and even then, at 60, she could easily carry it. But either way, it's going to be awkward anyway because the box is about as big as a person. It'd be like you giving Locke a piggyback ride, and Locke was built like a
She
dwarf.
just has slower movement, only half speed.
Yeah. True. I mean, you could,
Fair enough.
but Yongrilin
And
speaks.
if they get into a fight, we could just set the box down.
Fair enough.
Yongrilin speaks up and goes, and again, there are other corridors throughout this area as well. So
Yeah,
it'd
so
be
we
a
got
good
some
idea
explore.
to explore those and see what we can find. Not to mention
like
that
there's
other
still the
trap
other-
chest.
Yeah, there was the other chest that was almost certainly trapped, considering it was just sitting in the middle of an empty room.
Let's
Yeah.
go
So-
poke that one.
Yep. All right.
Yongrilin heads that
I'm
way.
just gonna leave the chest here for now until we
Yeah.
explore.
Teleport,
all.
whoosh.
Whoosh.
Super speed. Phew.
Dicks. Wait.
Oh yeah, she did take the Riven did take the axe, so she has the axe on her.
Okay.
Good for that. All right.
So I
Okay.
shall let the actual rogue go at this.
Again.
Because she's an actual rogue. I kind of thought Yongrilin was either a fighter or a monk.
He is.
She is.
So she's multi-classed in the rogue then.
Yep. That she is.
Far enough to get assassinated. All right. What is her level?
Actually, no. She's level 6. Sorry.
Okay, so she's a little higher than
she-
all us.
Yeah, so I'm assuming she's 3 and 3. Or is she 4 and 2?
Anyway.
Whatever.
You didn't get a whole lot of chances to do cool stuff, but it's fine.
Nope.
You guys going to all stand in this in this room for the trap chest?
Might as well.
Actually, nope. Let her rogue friend.
You know what? Fair enough. Good point. Gotta love it when the dungeon master asks, "Are you sure?" Just like that one video game, The Witch's House. Every time that question comes up, you know you're about to die. It's like, have you saved? Go save first before you see this.
Right, yes. So,
Or the auto save before you walk into a room. Be like, oh.
so once again, Yongrilin goes through her tools, just sort of, and then he stops it, pops the chest open, and she's, ooh, good thing you, this chest was obvious and kobolds aren't smart. That would have been a bad trap to have to deal with later. Also, I think you're gonna like what's in here, Locke. This seems like right up your alley.
Locke comes waltzing over.
What is it?
Inside of the chest are two, what looks to be arcane spell scrolls.
Ooh. I will take those and I will look at them. What are they spells of?
Don't you need identify?
I mean, it's...
On a spell scroll, it would be an arcana check to see if you recognize the runes to know what it is.
Okay.
Look, and I have a pretty decent arcana. 11 for the first one.
Okay. It looks like spells that you know that you would be aware of. Perhaps maybe wizard or sorcerer spells, the likes of spells that your mom uses a lot.
Alright.
But due to the nature of how they're written, because it's actually technically spell scrolls written with more draconic calligraphy style, it's harder for you to really grasp exactly what they are just by looking at the glyphs. But they do seem to be of the wizard sorcerer sort of persuasion.
Well, I can always say it goes back to mom as well when we go home, so I've felt
And the second one?
They are both wizard sorcerer style spells. Yeah, two of them.
Yeah, it was apparently for both.
Two different spells. It's worth noting you rolled high enough to register that they are two different spells, but you can't quite grasp what spell they are exactly.
Alright. Well, I can ask mom when we get back.
Alright,
Alright,
come in.
let's
Come
do some
along.
exploring. Shall we,
Stay close to me to get
shall,
that advantage.
shall we re-up our stealth rolls?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think.
Alright. Add 10. 26.
38 or 28 because
no,
you actually.
Yeah, 28. Oh. Oh wait, no. Yeah.
He doesn't
no.
have advantage anymore.
Nope.
Oh,
Wait, who is this? Locke?
That's Locke.
no.
Oh no.
No.
Or I mean, not Locke, Oak rather.
Oh.
I got 26.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I meant to say Oak. It's just.
Yeah, I did too. So 12 and 25. It's fairly obvious that Yongrilin is sort of antsy and she's moving a bit quicker than she has been, and is not being as quiet. But yeah, she's
Alright,
keeping with the
that's-
group, and that sort of helps to keep that as apparent. Reveal. This sort of dead ends off, and much like before, there is a chest up here in this corner.
Okay.
Hug me.
Yongrilin.
Another chest, huh? Okay. Up she goes.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh no.
Is that with her proficiency?
Yes,
Oh no.
because she rolled a 4.
Oh no.
Okay. So,
What? Her proficiency is 5?
Her-
It's awesome.
it's proficiency plus dex. Her dex modifier is not that high.
Okay, that's fine.
So she fiddles with it a second, and we hear a veritable click, and Yongrilin's like, "Argh! Ow!"
Locke. I mean, not Locke. Oak.
And
Oak, your kin is in trouble.
Your turn.
uh,
Just a weary sigh. Oh, good.
ow. Okay. Oak comes over, and Yongrilin's just, as Oak comes over, the other two, you two looking on, see her just, she, like, pulls at just above her, like, near her thigh, or not near her thigh, it's near her, like, lower part of her stomach, almost where your, appendix is, like, lower part of the abdomen. And she's, ow. And she pulls an arrow, not unlike the arrow you had before, Riven. And
Okay.
she's, so they got me once. Ow. Anyway, looks inside chest. And Oak's just like hand on shoulder, cure wounds randomly.
Okay, I guess we come over and investigate the chest.
Inside this chest is a much more. It's a much longer scroll. Seems to be a much more intricate and complex carving and spell scrolls and things. But it is yet another spell scroll.
I'll Arcana to see if I can deduce this one. That's a 20, not natural.
Ah. Yes. So this spell scroll, it's a little bit harder for you to do, just as the other ones were. But because it's in Draconic, but you rolled a 20. Well, not natural 20, but 20. It is a spell scroll for Fireball.
Ooh. Nice. I feel like you're treating me.
I mean, it's there.
Yeah, so I guess we take it.
It looks loose. It looks loosely Draconic, and of course it's Fireball. Why not?
I will stow that away, just like. Ooh, I imagine that would be fun. Save that for a
I
rainy
guess
day
so.
when we're finally fighting the goblins.
We go over here.
Yep, man.
Journey down this way,
Mm-hmm.
feeling more of things.
Feel good.
Long narrow passageway.
Which I'm assuming connects up to here.
Did.
Okay, no kobolds. I guess we make our way around to back here.
Or, we could just explore some of the alternate path that we didn't explore down here first.
Okay, I guess we go down here. Here. Oh, kobold.
Huh?
Do we want to kill it?
Yeah, why not?
Alright, who wants to do it? Well, let's let Yong do it. She's the sneaky one.
Yeah, and she's antsy.
He's coming around the corner to this kobold that's sort of been trying to keeping an eye out. I'm going to give her a reroll on her stealth.
Alright, I guess we all should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
26 for me. Okay,
34 for her.
23.
And Oak.
yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
fucking love Pass Without a Trace. It's great.
Yeah!
So,
She just like strolls up and just goes smack.
Yongrilin sort of just walks up.
Doesn't she get bonus damage for sneak attack as a rogue?
She would, yeah. But I just haven't been rolling it because she would technically deal a lot more damage, and I'll actually do it here because why the heck not? So she just comes up, sort of strolls up quietly, comes up behind him, doesn't even bother using her claws, like, at all. Taps him on the shoulder, and then roundhouse kicks him into the wall.
Oof.
So, assuming she hits, and he just doesn't, like, duck. But anyway,
Oh, she has advantage.
he does have advantage. He is technically not using her spike gauntlet, so I will have to roll it separate because I am stupid and didn't make an unarmed attack roll thing. But +5. Rar.
Oh.
Oh wow, really?
But she has advantage.
He does have advantage.
So that natural 1 doesn't go.
There we go.
That's
Goodbye, natural
That is so much better. 24.
Alright, so
That's like a monk is like what, 1d4?
yeah, she has a 1d4 as a monk's unarmed strike thing. But she gets
She
Damage.
didn't crit, so she doesn't get that other damage, so.
well, he wasn't aware of her, so she does crit.
Oh yeah, assassinate.
And that's your. And you also deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on the attack roll. So you should add another d6 onto that.
From assassinate?
No, from sneak attack,
Oh right, yeah, I know.
which is the first level thing. So
Yeah,
add
I
an
know.
extra d6.
So, we have... First things first. We have... He rolls 1d4 because it's the unarmed strike thing, +2 from her strength. 4. Not really that high. And then add on to that, he rolls or 1d6 from sneak attack, which doesn't have damage, doesn't have a modifier added to it. And she has that. So from a straight on normal unarmed strike, because sneak attack, she deals 2 doubled to 4. The 5 is doubled as damage dice. 5 doubled to 10, or 4 and 5 is 9, is 18, plus the 2 is 20. Rar. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So just from a straight up roundhouse kick, she does 20 damage to a kobold.
Jesus Christ.
She just smashes him up against the wall, and he just... And then she does that, like, pop neck roll shoulder things, and that felt good.
As I'm walking by Oak to keep moving, and I just kind of, your family is terrifying, and keep moving.
Oak sighs, and it's just some of them, yes.
All right, what do we got down here?
All right, yay for this area! Hooray!
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Or?
Yeah, let's go down here.
Let's up down this way.
Oh my god.
It's a big place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Then up this way, and you have stuff like that.
I'm just gonna assume this like loops around.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, go over here. What?
Hmm?
Alright, there's this whole other section over here. I forgot
Yeah.
I have to scroll sideways.
Ew.
Okay, what's over here?
I'm just going to fill in this whole area because you're going to eventually come around the corner to see it all anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
Another
so
kobold
like
over there.
the-
And another weird
Oh,
reflective
okay.
pond looking thing.
All right.
Let me grab the other two.
Does Riven want to get this one, or shall I, or should someone else?
That's the thing, once I go in there, he'll be able to see me?
I could Eldritch Blast him from here. It has pretty good range.
Yeah.
Shall I do that?
Yeah, you have advantage since you're stealthing, so.
That's 20, not natural.
Yep, you hit him.
That's 11 points of damage.
Yep, that's a blasted kobold.
Goosh. This is so
Okay. Now we go over here. I'm gonna investigate this water.
easy. It's same.
Uh-huh.
Psychedelic looking.
How are you going to investigate this water?
Are you gonna help me? Or are you gonna make your own roll?
I'm gonna roll Arcana to see if it's magical at all.
Oh, then.
Then I'll help you with your roll.
Okay.
18 on Arcana. Is it a magical
It does
thing?
seem to be a form of magical water, yeah.
Nope. It's water to me.
Detect magie.
So, looking over this pool of water, it is very magical. There is a sort of medium strong magic aura about it. And the spell school for the magical aura is invocation.
Don't touch that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's go this way, then.
It's a magic and invokey, and if you touch it, I'm afraid it might explode and kill us all. And I like being alive, and I have things to
Water.
live for.
Yongrilin sort of tilts her head at you and goes, "Water that explodes? What?"
It's magic, okay? Weird shit happens.
Fair enough.
All right, what's
Alright.
up here?
Journey up this way. Boop.
Ooh, big chamber. What looks like a side entrance. Another side entrance.
And kobold.
Oh, hi, Kobold.
Does someone else want to get him, or should I?
No, go ahead, because I'm sure they're facing this way.
All right. Do I still get advantage? Like, does he still doesn't know I'm here?
He seems to be a little bit more inquisitive. He's looking around to try to find you. I don't think I want to give you advantage on this attack.
Well, normal roll then. 23.
You hit anyway. Yeah, you're fine.
6 damage. I don't think that kills him, does it?
Actually, that one in particular, yes, it does.
Okay. All right.
Alright, I see there's a little crack here. Is this
That-
like a little door?
This is so
Yep.
easy.
Yep.
We are very over leveled for this.
Well, the way you decided to tackle it, you're playing smart. That's how these kinds of things work. It's training you for the bigger army you might be facing later. This room is interesting because I don't think either one of you will really like this room. This room effectively serves as a latrine.
Ugh,
We're not going in there.
no. Okay, I guess we go all the way back around over here.
Yeah, we'll circle around to get here.
Alright, so hold on. Alright, this kobold go bye-bye. And go to where are you going? All the way over there?
Yep. Back into the stone structure, circling around.
carrying both at the same time. There we go. So that room is not. Yeah. Okay. Circle all the way back around so that you can get there, and you have this sort of a room. Which, minus the amenities of, like, human and more modern area, this sort of looks like it's almost a, like, kitchen or someplace to cook.
Huh. Neat.
There's more of the storages of food that were in the previous room on the far right. And they've been moved to over here, and there's like a little pit, like a fire pit sort of thing, though it's not lit or anything. And there's a kobold over there.
I remember you saying there's like noise coming from over here.
Yeah, I was thinking let's go check that out once we're done with this room.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, well, Elder Blast?
Sure.
Alright, that's another 23 to hit.
Yep.
That's 13 damage.
Yep.
Bye.
That's dead
Goosh.
kobold.
This is too easy to be training. Alright.
I mean, when
Back
they're
to
not
where we were.
expecting you and they're not intelligent, so
And they're less than level 1.
for individual ones, yeah.
Alright, well, let's go check out where the clattering was coming from then. I guess it was over here, right?
It was technically in this area down here that you haven't looked into.
Alright, well, where's...
Well, you said this was a dead end over here.
Yeah.
This top one was. This one is.
Oh, okay.
That one still goes.
And what's right here?
We have a itty bitty little room over here.
Okay.
And now you have your clattering. Your clattering is a kobold that seems to be messing with, like older spears that are broken, and he's just sort of smacking them against metal armor that's in this room. It's sort of like a little mini armory. And this kobold is, though it doesn't look like it from the picture, this particular kobold is much smaller than all the rest.
I do not want to kill...
Aw.
So like a kid?
A young one, yeah.
Oh no.
I'm not killing this one. I refuse.
Yeah.
Instead, let me see here. What spells do I have?
Let's just go back, grab the chest, and just leave.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's just a kid. I'm kind of thinking maybe telling it like you might want to leave. Like my telepathic thing transcends language so long as it knows a language I could communicate with it.
That's
pretty.
Yeah.
It's also worth noting that we left the two kobolds at the front entrance as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
We just snuck past them. So maybe if we just sneak past those two, do some means to trap them but not kill them, then this kid's not all by himself.
maybe not
Yeah.
even trap them. Just let them go. Like once they realize they've lost their treasure, they'll probably just move on.
Point.
So yeah. I could probably use thaumaturgy to create a distraction when we get closer so that they go running by, and then we can just sneak out with the big box.
That seems
Yeah, let's go.
effective.
All right, so let's go
Mhm.
get the box then.
Alrighty.
Who's lifting?
Do you believe that was Riven that said she would?
Yeah, I'll carry it. So let's be
Alright.
on our way.
All right.
Pick up the big
Well,
old box and make your way out.
So here's what I'm thinking. Position myself right here in this sort of alcove spot. And well actually no. Okay. You three or everyone else, like position yourselves right here at this spot, this sort of alcove thing. I could invisible myself again and do a thaumaturgy up here to make the sound of like maybe the kid's crying or something. The kid that we saw, like a young kobold shrieking in despair or something. That would draw their attention and make them go running. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, everyone else needs to get right here. I will situate. Do I need to reroll stealth to make sure like they don't spot me with doing their thingy?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Riven seems to be staying nearby, so I get that plus 10. So 18 total. All right. And I will thaumaturgy up here of the little kobold, like just general shrieking.
Okay.
How do they react?
There is a moment of like clamoring from this other side of this room here, and one of the kobolds goes charging up around this way.
Right. Not the other one?
Nope, not the other one, just one.
All right.
And making his way up this way towards Small Child.
All right. So what are we going to do about this last one? I vote non-lethal damage.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can do that,
Okay.
actually, says Yongrilin. As much as
Alright,
it
go
pains
ahead,
me,
then.
I can do that.
All right, go ahead then. I'll wait right here.
Good.
Squelch the wall.
Well, I mean, and she's gonna roll stealth again to stay stealthed. Does she still get the plus 10?
If Riven follows behind, yeah.
If they're within 30 feet, then yeah.
Then yeah, she's fine. Okay. So this is her with her unarmed attack thing again. So plus. Good thing she has advantage.
Yeah. Good thing.
Oh, this is one. This is one of the lower brow kobolds. Or no, this is the. Okay. So she walks up, and she's basically going to chop. Because this kobold actually, though I don't have it on his screen, this kobold actually has a shield. And she comes up, she goes to smack down, and the kobold just so happens to look in the right way at the right time, and her hand hits his shield.
Uh-oh.
But she doesn't have advantage on the roll. But she actually has, since she snuck up on it, she has her full attack, which is 2 unarmed strikes because she doesn't have extra attack. She doesn't have enough. But doesn't matter anyway. She can bonus action flurry of blows. Now she hits it.
Okay.
Monk
and rogue, dangerous combination. Duly noted.
Indeed. She doesn't get her. Actually, she would get her sneak attack because it's on her first hit. So.
All right.
She doesn't have the assassinate double damage crit though. Roll 1 d4 plus 2 5. I'm going to go ahead and roll sneak attack anyway because why not? And yeah, so she comes up, smack with like a chop, hits the shield, ow. Really, dude? Just like a full-on slap, and knocks him to the side and knocks him out.
Nice.
Okay, she like open palm, open hand slap across the face.
Nice.
And he falls over in the corner over here.
All right.
Now we just leave.
Yep.
Yep.
Get the box and we
With box
go.
and tow.
Yep.
I suggest we stop and rest.
When we're, a little ways away, of course.
Yes.
And Oak, as you're passing by this way, Oak sort of looks off to the one goblin that had been knocked out, and
Goblin.
or not goblin, kobold. Darn it!
Mhm.
He looks off to the kobold that's been knocked out, and sort of looks around that room for a bit, and then he goes, "Oh look, they were kind of smart. There's a little gong drum thing sitting right there."
Ha!
Eh,
Well, it served them olive, not at all. Their treasure was all stolen out from under them, and all but 3 of them was taken away. I just hope none of the ones we killed were its actual parents. I'd feel really bad if that were the case.
You're lucky because, as far as I can figure out, in kobold society, the tribe are the family.
So it's not like specific parents that matters.
Yep. Because they are, by all accounts, technically reptilian, they don't have that same mammalian mentality of mama.
Okay. Fair enough.
Mhm. Yep. Alright.
Good
So
to
you'll
know.
have finished the little goblin trick thing.
Kobold.
I will. Kobold, darn it. I'm used to you fighting goblins. Anyway.
Will be soon enough.
Yes, indeed. So I have that. I will call the session here. It went a little bit longer than I anticipated because I actually was not entirely sure if I was going to do this full on combat right now. But anyway,
Combat, term used lightly.
I can't help that you guys circumvented the whole thing because you were smart.
You can yes, you can help that by being smarter next time.
When I do that sort of thing, I feel like I'm going against what my players want to do if I do that too hard.
I want a challenge.
Okay, so I'm sorry it wasn't a challenge, man.
No, it's
Now, to be fair, a lot of that probably has to do with just how mind-numbingly overleveled we were in comparison to the kobolds. Like, we could one-shot these fuckers easy.
yeah. You could have added a little bit more kobolds. I think we would have been fine. But then again, we would
If
have to. You
if
you would have probably had to stop the session before we entered the cave. So
if and also it's worth noting that you had a, by all accounts, a challenging encounter type thing. Is you stack all the challenge ratings of all the creatures all together.
In the
Mhm.
specific combat, yeah.
So if I was to put all of these guys attacking you all at once, it would
Oh
have
yeah,
been.
we would probably would have been screwed, but still.
Yeah. Then again, this gives you a practice run because if you could approach the goblins fight like this, then you might be in good shape and actually have a chance.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Here's the open.
now it's time for us to head back to town.
Yep. You start making your way back. We'll cover all the incidents that go into that next session of your travel back, if of any of specific accord. You both do sign out and decide amongst yourself which way you want to do it, because I did the opening.
This has been Shadow of Gradiriel.
Good job.
Join us next time when we assess our winnings from that absolute massacre and figure out our next plan of action, which will probably set us on the path to getting some sweet revenge for whatever the hell's up with Riven's past. I don't know.
Not yet, because we gotta go take a dwarf back to his hometown. Remember?
All right, fair
Yeah.
enough. We do that just to get a bit more synergy going with Yong, I guess, and then we're going to war.
Yeah.
It's basically what we're doing.